Tauntaun. Was that a Tauntaun Tiki mug?
Yeah, that was your Tauntaun Tiki mug.
My actual one?
It's the same one you have, yeah.
Oh, wow. Very cool. Well, tonight's is Jar Jar.
Nice.
Messed
The
it up.
best Sith Lord in Star Wars Galaxy.
The Star Wars hero.
Yep.
Did you see that rendition of Jar Jar as Darth Maul, or the Darth Maul version of Jar Jar?
Yes.
Looked pretty badass.
Have you seen the one that says if you live long enough, you see the same eyes in different people, and it's got like Anakin with the red eyes, and it's got Maul with the red eyes, it's got the Emperor with the red eyes, and then it shows Jar Jar, and he's got the same eyes.
I didn't see that. No.
Pretty cool.
There she is.
Hey, we have Katya back.
Hello, Katya.
Sorry.
The circle is complete.
You missed the intro.
Oh no. Oh yeah, and you were supposed to change the bubbles.
He did.
I'll put it at the end again so you can see.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty good. So I guess welcome to the full 42. I am Mike. That is Chris. That is Chris. That is Katya. And we have our special guest from Board Game Coffee, Mark Maia. Thanks for joining us tonight. I appreciate it. It's good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Fresh off a trip down in the basement, hanging out with us tonight. We have a full show. Couple things. We're going to put you through the lightning round because it is your first time on the show. So
It is.
good luck with those 20 questions. Then we're going to talk a little bit about what Mark does, what Mark's got coming up, and then a little bit about GAMA. I have some questions, but a little bit about GAMA and how that went. Hopefully there's some new stuff you can talk about. And then play some games, but we'll save the games till later.
All right.
So, Chris, you want to do the...
Yeah, sure. Let's see. Yeah, so got 21 questions because, I don't know, because I like all 21.
Because it's half 42.
Yeah. Well, 42 would take too long. So it's half of that, right? So we're just going to take you through these lightning rounds. There are no wrong answers, but some of them could be wrong. Okay. We'll start off easy here. Yep.
All right.
Hey, Alan. Start off easy here. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Trek.
Nice. Favorite James Bond?
What's the new guy? I forget his name.
Daniel Craig?
Daniel Craig. I like Daniel Craig. Casino Royale is what did it for me. That's probably my favorite Bond movie.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings?
Harry Potter. I'm indifferent, really. Harry Potter could have taken that ring to the to the mountain, and I'd be okay with it.
You'd get there pretty quick on a broom. Cookie or cupcake?
Cookie.
Ninjas or pirates?
Ninjas. I don't like water.
1 2-hour game or 4 30-minute games?
1 2-hour game.
Nice.
I like going deep.
Triceratops or Stegosaurus?
Triceratops.
Deck building or worker placement?
Let's go with deck building.
You don't sound like you're strong either way.
Oh no, I like them both. And recently, the games I've been playing have been like Dune and Arnak, which are both. So
The same. Never speak again or always say what you're thinking?
always say what I'm thinking, or I could explode.
I like that addition. I'm going to add that next time. Role-playing game or escape room?
Role-playing game.
Indiana Jones or Han Solo?
Indie.
Nice.
Always be sticky or always be itchy?
Well, I'm always sticky now, so why change anything?
That's great. There's a spider in your house. What do you do?
I double check to see if it's radioactive.
And if it is, would it bite you?
Yeah. I got plans for the future.
Sound like SpongeBob or hear everyone else sound like SpongeBob?
I think if everybody else sounded like SpongeBob, I could get a lot of voice work. But it would make sex really awkward.
Just
True. That's a fact.
film noir or horror?
Horror.
How many of the 7 dwarfs can you name?
None. No, I can do something. Doc. Sleepy. Is that one of them?
Yep.
Is there a Dopey?
Yep.
I'm at 3. This is gonna take a while. Hold on. Doc, Sleepy, Dopey, Grumpy.
Yep.
Bashful.
Yeah.
2 away. Sneezy.
Yes.
George.
I think it's the hardest one for me. Bashful.
No, he said bashful.
I said bashful.
Did you say bashful?
Yeah.
Or did you
I don't
say
know which one I'm
happy?
missing.
Happy.
Happy.
Oh,
Happy.
I'm missing happy.
Happy, yeah.
Yeah.
Would you rather get a hug from Voldemort or Emperor Palpatine?
Voldemort. Emperor seems kind of just gross. Like a gross grandpa or something.
Accurate.
Voldemort
Never-
seems firm.
Nice firm pat. Never rewatch TV or movies, or never see new TV or movies.
Never rewatch.
Well,
That was a tough one because I forget most things eventually, so to be all the
It's
same.
kind of the same.
and I've seen quite a bit, so I have quite a bank of movies and TV shows to go through.
Have extremely pink skin or glow in the dark.
Is this color skin, but I glow in the dark, or is it like glow in the dark green during the day and then
Right, you just look.
it's
like
just
you do
me
now,
and then I just glow
but
in the
then-
dark? Oh, then I'll glow in the dark.
Okay.
Right.
Eternal sunshine or eternal night.
Eternal sunshine.
Then you won't glow in the dark at all.
Well, I don't go outside anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
And final one: design by yourself or design with others. If you're designing a board game.
By myself.
Nice.
solo design, huh?
Easy.
I don't want to bring anybody down.
Should have gone. I gotta disagree with that. Triceratops all the way.
Same.
Are we all Triceratops? Are you Triceratops?
Michael is Stegosaurus.
Yeah, I say Stegosaurus.
You would.
Oh,
Yep.
can't all be perfect.
Nope. And it's okay to
Yeah.
be wrong.
Yeah, that's the one thing keeping Mike from being perfect.
That's it. Yeah, the fact that I'm Team Stego, not Team Triceratops.
Yep.
One flaw. That's it.
Is that the team Stego?
Stego.
Is that what it's called?
I think Team Stego.
Yeah.
I don't know. Team Tri doesn't seem right.
No.
No.
All right. Well, thanks for blasting through those pretty easily.
Sure.
They're not that hard.
Is your Indy over Han Solo because you're a Star Trek, not Star Wars? I was gonna say, is it because you've been playing Arnak a lot and that's like kind of Indy-esque?
No, I always liked the idea of an adventure and like pushing a brick and then the wall goes away and you find things. That doesn't happen in Star Trek or Star Wars. It's all pew pew. You know.
That was well done. It's like you practice.
Thank you.
That's true. I'm actually running a Star Wars RPG game in which I've created puzzle rooms for the players to be in. So it is happening in my game.
So you just mix Star Wars with Indy.
Kind of. Yeah, they are going into ancient temples and having to solve puzzles to go through the dungeon kind of stuff.
See, Indy fixed Star Wars.
Wouldn't go that far.
I'm
So
good either way. I just really like Star Trek.
What
I
is it
agree.
about Star Trek?
What do I like about Star Trek?
Yeah, what is it? What draws you to Star Trek?
Well, I really what really got me into Star Trek was Next Generation. Like I did watch it with Kirk, but didn't really suck me in. And when Picard came around, then I really got into it, and then I really liked Voyager as well. And so yeah, that was that whole that era of like Generations, Voyager, Deep Space Nine, which I didn't totally care for. That really sucked me in. I like Star Wars as like a big budget movie. I like big budget movies, but I feel no loyalty to Star Wars. I haven't gotten that love for the series like everybody, like the big Star Wars fans have. I like the movies, but as a big budget movie, like I would like any other big budget movie. I think what equates to me as it does Star Wars fans is the Marvel movies, because I'm a huge comic book fan.
Gotcha.
So these Marvel movies are like my Star Wars. Like, it's finally a series of movies came out that I can click with, that I can really like adore, right? And I want to consume as much as possible and watch it multiple times.
Yeah, it's a great time to be a Marvel fan with all the stuff that's going on.
It's funny because we talk about big budget movie and stuff like that, and all I can think about is that with the voice you have right now, you're perfect for doing like those preview voiceover.
Yeah, I told him he had a Batman voice before we came over.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I should try to get some work while my throat's rough. It's from coming from GAMA didn't help either, because I talked so much while I was there. I swear I was going to wake up with blood on my pillow and my throat laid beside me.
It's so rough.
You just you talk so. I felt like I talked and walked for 4 days straight, and I was wiped by the end of it. But it was a good show. It was a good show.
Now, I only felt like that whenever I demoed at Gen Con. Other shows, although I don't really talk that much to people if I'm not demoing, so I could see that. But so what did you do at GAMA? What was GAMA like?
Well, this is my first GAMA, and GAMA, see, thing is, like, I didn't know much about GAMA. I knew it was a thing that happened, but I didn't know why, like, a lot of people I knew didn't go. And now I know is because it's like a B2B thing. So it's like business to business, right? So it's a lot of retailers talking to publishers and getting their games in their stores, etc. But this year they invited media to come partake. So I was one of the media that was invited, and I think it was like winning a trip to Reno. So I thought, yeah, sure, I'd go. Let's check out GAMA. And honestly, when I went there, I was like, I didn't know what to expect. So I'd love to go again. But
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Matt. But I'd be more prepared next time.
What do you mean more prepared?
Because like there's a lot of opportunity. It's GAMA seems like the place to be if you are a retailer, a publisher, or a media person that wants to make connections. So there's a lot of business. There's a lot of business side of it, right? So I met a lot of people that opened up a lot of opportunities to work with new publishers, even producing content for retailers, etc. So it's got more of the business side of it going, and there's not a lot of like stock there for people to buy. So it's not like a consumer show. So it's different. There's some new news for new releases that come out. So there's some of that, but again, not being prepared for, I didn't know what to expect. And the show only ran for like Wednesday and Thursday. And I had most of my Wednesday booked up with meetings. So I missed most of the show. Like the show floor was open 2 days. Hey, so anyways, it was, so it was different. It's a different experience. But if you do go to GAMA, it's a great place to just like hang out with like other people in board game media space or publishers. You can meet a lot of great people. You meet designers, and I met what's his name, Peter Hayward.
Yeah.
So he was there.
That's cool.
Because I learned that Time You Killed Me. I learned that the day before we met him, and I was playing with Alex from Board Game Co. And I beat him. So if you're watching, buddy, nice try. But then the next day, the designers just sat down beside us at a table, and we just played a bunch of some of his other games. We played French Toast, which was interesting. I never even heard of it before, but it was an interesting concept for a game. I don't know if you ever played French Toast.
No, he does.
It's a game.
Really cool stuff.
It's a game you could play on this show because you really just need, you can control it from your end.
Nice.
Oh, neat. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's been written down.
Yeah,
We
check
like
it out.
to
it's
play
it's
some of
it's
those.
an interesting concept.
Cool.
What was that, Katia?
I said we like to play stuff on the show, so
Yeah.
it's good
Yeah,
to
check it out. So that was fun, and I spent a lot of time at the Glass Die, which is a bar nearby. Well, it's like a 5-minute like Uber, and or a 36-minute walk, I believe is what the map said, the like Google Maps. But it's a bar where they have just tons of games. You just sit down there and you can play to your heart's content. And it's a store too, so you can buy some stuff there. And they have various drinks on tap. And we did a bunch of live feeds there, where I just basically sat my phone on, and we just brought people from. We have Devin, who he helps on a lot of stuff. He's got his own show. He just started. Devin Talks Tabletop. He's also helping out the Kidsplaining peeps, and he helps Quackalope quite a bit with some script writing. So he was there. The Kidsplaining crew was there, minus the kids. And we would just throw down the camera and just random. Professor Meg, I don't know if you know her. She would just drop in. So it's interesting having her set up, and then like other media people walk into the bar, and we were just doing this live feed, which was interesting because we started so late, and it was like a 3-hour time difference. So most of my audience missed it; they were in bed already. But because we started like 8 o'clock, which would be like 11 o'clock here. So
I tuned in the night that you guys were going to play Dune, I believe.
oh yeah. We never finished that game because the bar closed. But I think I was doing okay. Doing okay. We added up the score, and I lost, I believe, by 1 point. So I was close. I think if the game kept going, I would have taken it.
I'm sure you would have won.
It is the kind of game where you can kind of come from behind sometimes. You just win one combat that has 2 points. You hit a faction in the same turn, that kind of thing.
Yeah, what got me was I didn't realize there were those cards that like you throw them down, it's like 4 swords on them, and then it pushes you up that battle track, and that's what pushed the person that was behind me 1 step ahead of me and got them the point that pushed them ahead. I was like, oh, I didn't even know that card was a thing. So I wasn't ready for it. Because there's like 1 space on the board where you go there and you pay a bunch of stuff, but you get like 2 water and like 5 soldiers or whatever it's called, and I just dropped them right in the center right away for combat.
Nice.
And if you don't play Dune, it makes absolutely no sense.
0 sense.
But it was fun.
One card we ended the game. I played 2-player. We ended the game. The person I was playing with won by 1, and he was so proud that he won by 1. And I'm sitting on 1 card that gave me 2 points for something. So I let him like kind of soak it all in. I was like, oh yeah, but here. And he's like, it was great.
Evil.
It's there. It's always like that little tempting. Well, maybe they have that card, maybe not. But he just went.
There's a lot of people comparing like Dune Imperium to Arnak. And do you think anybody would compare those 2 games together if they didn't come out so close together?
No.
I made a video based on that comparison, actually.
No.
The reason why, I mean, thematically they don't, but they are worker placements, deck builders, where the deck tells you where you can place your worker. But the reason why I compared it is because they're using the same kind of mechanisms, but feel so completely different that I thought it was interesting that, neat way to compare that.
I like them both.
Yeah, I do too.
I think if I played Arnak a lot more, so it's hard to say which one I like more than the other. But trying to like picture myself playing Dune Imperium, I think I'll end up liking Dune more. But I really liked Arnak, so it's not a shot on any of them. These both seem like great games.
Have you tried Arnak with the expansion yet?
Oh, I was just gonna ask that.
No, I have not. You mean with the asynchronous powers? No, I haven't tried that.
Seems interesting.
Yeah, is it available to anybody other than media right now?
Oh yeah,
yeah. I've been locked in my cave for so long. There you go. Ever since baby, I'm so out of the loop on everything. It's only right now. I feel like this week is my catch-up week because we've got like a newborn, 6 months now, and
congratulations.
So thank you. So it's been like crazy. it's been crazy busy, and I've been kind of like locked out of any sort of media because any extra time I have is like baby. So it was like day job, board game, coffee, baby. There was no in between time to do anything else. So I'm missing out on everything that's going on.
You just got to get that feed right into your brain, so while you sleep, you're still getting all the stuff.
Yeah, and as well, the thing is, like, I write a lot of scripts, so if I'm writing scripts, I can't be listening to other people like chatting in my ear about things. So,
Right.
If I'm doing anything artistic, then yeah, sure, I can have like a YouTube channel up or a podcast up and listen to that in the background.
Right.
But other than that, I can't.
You know, I've played Dune maybe 10 times, 8 to 10 times, something like that. And the last time I played, I realized we'd been playing wrong.
Oh no!
Were you even house ruling something?
It wasn't a house rule. It just didn't know that we were playing wrong. So, like, in spaces where you get those cubes, unless it has little swords on the bottom right of those spaces, you can't put them in the middle. You have to put them in your little circle part.
Correct.
I had no idea that was a thing. I just thought if you got cubes, you could put them in the middle.
Yeah, no.
So,
otherwise, it's too easy.
Yeah, that we did right for sure.
You know what has that? The rule book.
it does. Apparently. Well, I didn't even know because I played with the expansion this last time, and the expansion has some extra stuff to do with those spaces. I was like, attack spaces? What is that? And so expansions are good for teaching you what you've been doing wrong, I guess, sometimes.
You learn something new every play.
So I'm choking on water.
That's good. That's good. At least we'll have it on camera forever. So I guess let's dance around.
Congratulations.
Sure.
So you went to GAMA and you said you went as media. So I'm going to sidestep.
Yes.
You went obviously as Board Game Coffee. Tell us about Board Game Coffee.
Oh, so yeah, Board Game Coffee started about, it's been like 4 years now, maybe something like that. It feels weird. Time feels condensed since the lockdown. There's like this weird portal that happened. But yeah, Board Game Coffee started basically. First of all, it started with I was designing a board game, and I was listening to a podcast on like how to get your board game off the ground. As I'm in this process, I'm very much do my homework before I do anything to it, or as I'm doing it. So I'm designing this game, and then and at the same time, Brittany kept asking me, which is my wife, and she's usually on the show, but less since we've had the baby, but she'll be back on shortly. She was asking me to start a website, or she wanted to start a website for herself, but it was in conflict with her work. So she suggested, oh, you should do like a board game channel, like something where you teach people how to play games, like Rodney, like, because back then we didn't follow a lot of board game media. We were just basically getting into, like, I was into board games, but I wasn't into following the whole board game media scene. I was just board games. That was enough for me. And I said, no, I don't like the attention, so I don't want to do it. And then after her asking a few times, I started listening to, I was still listening to that podcast, and they said, if you want to take your project to Kickstarter, you should get known in the board game media space. So then that day she came over and she asked again. She's like, well, let's do a board game show. And I was like, okay, fine. We'll try it. So we did, and I haven't gone back to my board game design because who's got the time for that? So I plan on going back to that at some point, but like no sooner than next year. Like I don't see it happening any earlier than that.
Gotcha.
So it's gonna be a while before I get back to that. And yeah, so here we are. It was Brittany's idea, and we've been doing it ever since, and it's been fun. And the best part is all the people you meet, right? I love going to cons and meeting everybody, and then when you meet fans, that's always an interesting thing, right? Like that was something new to get used to.
Yeah. But
it's fun. Like it's flattering. It's really nice to know that you can put something out there, and then there's people out there who like your work, and it helps them, especially like if you do how to play videos, which is one of the things that happened when I was at GAMA. Met somebody at the bar, Cody, I believe was his name, if I remember correctly. And he recognized the show, and he was like, yeah, we watched your how to play videos, and I think it was Power Rangers or G.I. Joe. I don't remember which. It was one of those.
Right.
But so it was just, anyways, that's fun. but yeah, the focus of the channel has been kind of, we do a lot of things, right? Like reviews, previews, how to plays, and we try to do things differently. Like when it comes to previews and reviews, we try to be funny. We have skits,
Yep.
and I've had a lot of people say, compare us to like Shut Up and Sit Down because of the skits, and saying like, oh, we're a ripoff of Shut Up and Sit Down. And honestly, when I first started doing the skits on the show, I actually didn't even know what Shut Up and Sit Down was. Because again, I wasn't into the media scene. I was just starting to get started, and I was just like, when somebody said, hey, let's do the channel, I was like, okay, let's go in. I just went in. I was like, I'll figure it out as I go. I'll watch the other channels when they come. And then when somebody first said that, they're like, oh, do you watch Shut Up and Sit Down? I was like, no, but I will now. And then I just like plowed through a bunch of their stuff. And I was like, oh, these guys are good. So, but anyways, just so the skits were a thing that I just came up with on my own, not being influenced by them, but I can see where you draw the similarities. Obviously, they were doing it first. So
that's something pretty cool to be compared to, though, right? Like if they're like, oh, you're like them, I mean, they're pretty popular. I mean, I'm sure some people might have heard of them.
yeah, we're like them, except with minus the popularity.
So far.
So and the cool accents.
Yeah, sure. Well, that could be worked on too. No, you do cool stuff. I like the skits. The skits are fun.
No, thanks. Yeah, I reckon if anybody's watching, if you're not subbed to Board Game Coffee, check out our skits. Or not our skits. Check out our previews and our reviews.
Links are in the description.
That's how little backstory, I guess, for Mark. That's how Chris and I met when the pandemic started and everything got shut down. My normal Tuesday night meetup for QSCon was no more, and to keep it consistent, to keep it on the minds of people, I started a Tuesday night like meet and greet. So I asked designers or publishers to come on and talk about their stuff for an hour or so. And Chris's game Troubles is one of my favorite games. And they were, I don't know if the Kickstarter had launched or it was just about to launch or something. And I said, hey, why don't, like, do you have a moment? Why don't you do this thing? I do this thing, come on the show. And then we started talking back and forth. And so I had been a fan of his and his game for a while prior to 16. When did it come out? 16? The original
15.
Troubles? 15.
Yep.
And then I had the opportunity to meet him through this, and we've kept in touch. We've never met in person. We've only done this show but once a week for a year and 3 months now. A year and 2 months, something
like that.
Yeah.
So where are you guys located? If you've never seen each other,
we're all over the place.
I'm in Texas. He's in Jersey. She's
no,
in
Jersey.
Oh, yeah, not New Jersey. Sorry, New York. Same thing.
I'm a fellow Canadian. I'm in Cambridge.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
So we're not that far.
No, well, I'm in London, Ontario,
yeah.
which is I'm originally from Toronto, which people might recognize that name a little more than London, Ontario, because I'm like geographically impaired myself. Like I was born and raised in Toronto, which is like 2 hours away from London, Ontario, and I didn't know it existed until I got offered a job here.
Wow.
So.
Unless you're a hockey fan, you know about London.
Yeah, and that's it. I'm not a sports person. I grew up an artsy guy. Like I just drew in my room and I played video games and I read comic books. That's all I did.
How do you give high fives at an angle? No sports.
Oh, this way. Bam.
No sports, artsy guys. Yeah.
So like that's all I did. Like I go over my sister's house and she'd be the one yelling at the TV watching like the Leafs screw up and I'd be like, yeah, whatever. Okay. Like I'll root for the team just because I like rooting for the local sports team and I support my hometown, but I don't follow. They talk about those guys that jump on the bandwagon when like when the Raptors in the final. Yeah, that's completely me. That's the fun part. I want to be on the bandwagon. I don't want to be on the shitty train ride all the way up to there. I just want to be there for the party, and I love the party. And it was great, and I'll cheer. I'll give them all my positive vibes to win. It's great. It's great.
I think that was the only time that I actually watched basketball.
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
That's the best time to watch. I don't know who anybody is, but I know I can tell. Like, yeah, I want these jerseys to score in that basket. And
Yeah.
we're good.
Otherwise, that's just painful. Yeah.
Did you watch the Raptors because of Toronto, or do you watch the Raptors because of Daryl? Because Daryl has a wicked influence on people becoming Raptor fans.
No, I watched it because Toronto.
Okay.
They did well before I knew Daryl, I think. So it had nothing to do. But yeah, I was one of those bandwagon people that jumped on for the Raptors. But otherwise, I don't watch basketball at all.
Yeah, man, it was a fun wagon to be on. I recommend everybody jump on the bandwagon.
I was on it. I was excited. It was so cool to watch.
Yeah.
I watched that final. I was actually at Origins at the time.
Were you at Boron too?
I remember that we were. Yeah, I remember watching a game while at Origins as well.
Yeah, everyone was at Boron too. Like, and then they started singing the Canadian
no,
anthem.
I wasn't there. I wasn't on Boron too. I was somewhere else. I was at the what was it? What's that party called again with the MVM, Blue Peg, Pink Peg, the Brawling Brothers? They had that mashup meetup.
Oh
party
yeah.
that they threw at Origins. I was there, and it was toward the end of the night. It was clearing out, and there was nobody on the dance floor. And I was literally standing on the dance floor holding my beer, watching these screens that are up there, and I was by myself, just watching. And the waitress came by at one point, and she looks at me. She's like, "What are you looking at?" She's like, "Oh, I didn't even know those were there." So, but I was just like watching the TV, and all of a sudden, people started coming up to me and like, "Hey, what are you looking at?" And then more people started. And by the end of the night, it was like everybody at the bar was standing like in the middle of the dance floor, just watching the TV. So it was great. It was great, and we all had a great time. It was awesome.
That was fun. That was a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time. Anyways,
all right. So, Board Game Coffee. What's next? What's Board Game Coffee doing next week, next month, next year? Where
well, Board Game Coffee right now is focusing on a lot of how to play videos. So we're kind of shifting gear. We're doing a lot of how to plays recently, and we've done a lot of stuff for Renegade and Floodgate. We're doing a new one for Floodgate coming up for Decorum.
Decorum, yeah.
Which is have you guys played?
Yep.
I haven't played, but saw it.
It's I got a quick run through of Decorum while I was at GAMA, and it's an interesting concept. When I was reading the rule book, I was like, I don't know what to think, because it's like a campaign decorating game, right? So I was like, what an interesting concept. And I played just the first round, and it was hard to say if I had a good time because I was playing with Ben from Floodgate, and he has everything memorized. And if you don't know about Decorum, you got two people who are living in a house together, and you're trying to satisfy each other's needs, but you can't tell each other what those needs are until you reach to a certain heart-to-heart point of the game, and then you can tell each other one of your needs. So you have this checklist that everybody has a checklist that the other one's trying to satisfy without telling them what's on that checklist, which is interesting. But when I was playing with Ben, clearly he's done this so many times, he knew it was on the checklist, so he's playing dumb, right? Like, oh, I don't know, you don't want this lamp here. Well, you don't want that lamp here. You have all these cards memorized. You've played this like 300 times, but it was fun. I actually enjoyed that little playthrough, and I'm actually looking forward to playing that with Brittany and giving it a go. Yeah, so it's interesting. I think like I'm looking forward to playing it, and I can't speak much. I've only played the first level, but I'm looking forward to playing it. And surprisingly, actually, since I'm at the Floodgate booth at GAMA, I'm reminded that I played this game called, I think it was called Kite.
Yes.
Kite.
The sand timer one.
Yeah, the sand timers. And I don't enjoy timed games, but I like that one.
Yep.
Me neither.
Yeah, we played it at the gathering in August. Prototype. Ryan brought it. Really fun concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kites, it was great. Here, let me give you a Kites playthrough right now. You have, or how to play right now. You have 5 different colored sand timers, and you got 5 different colored, or what was it, 4 different colored cards? Because one of those sand timers is a wild.
It's a white.
I can't remember.
Oh,
Yeah. So, and basically, you throw down a colored card and you flip over the matching sand timer, and you got to keep the sand running. If at any point any of those sand timers run dry, you lose. So you try to get through the whole deck. So you're playing this little balancing game of like, no, blue's too early to flip over blue. So you flip over red right now. Oh no, blue's ready. And I flip over blue. And some cards have multiple colors on them. And then you have to flip multiple sand timers. Everybody's dropping cards at the same time. It was fun. It's like that's how you play. There's your how to play right there.
Play a card, flip the timer over, and you want to make sure, because the timers represent your kites. You want to make sure the kites are staying up. So as long as they're staying in your timer, then your kite is in the air. It's pretty. It's
so
really cool. Yeah.
That was surprising for me because one, I'm not really into simple games. Like we asked the question, like I'm not against simple games, but I rarely like get excited when I'm playing a simple game. It's just like, fillers. And like, yeah, fillers are cool. I can do them. I don't hate them. But for that short little stint that I played kites, I really enjoyed it, and I want to play it again. I think it was fun.
Yeah, it was different.
So,
yeah.
One of the few timed games that I enjoyed.
Yeah, I think the only other time game I think I enjoyed is actually on my shelf. You can't see it. It's Sorcerer City.
Oh, Druid City?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The tile laying game. That was the only other. Up until I played kites, Sorcerer City was the only time game I liked. Now I have two.
I'm going to I'll put a third one on your radar soon.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, because I haven't talked about it yet, but
in the speed round, you mentioned, was it 1 2-hour game or 4 30-minute games or whatever the question was? And I'm more of I like to take my time and think things through, and I'll play a game all night. I don't care. And I like that Brittany is the same way and actually our entire group, we have no problem just sitting down playing like 1 2-hour game for 5 hours because that's how we roll. we play slow, we drink, we chat. It's always casual. Like nobody's ever like irritated and waiting for somebody else. It's always just good company.
As long as everybody's having fun, shouldn't matter.
Yeah. But like if we ever played Twilight Imperium, I think it'd have to be a whole weekend. The way we play.
Yeah, they average around 6. My experience with it was 11.5, but it didn't feel. At no point was anybody aggravated that we spent basically the entire day playing one game. It was an awesome experience.
I got a question for you. Have you ever played Hate?
No.
See, I don't know a lot of people who have. So, because we had a whole campaign day of Hate where we played 2, because you can do Hate and I think you could do a scrimmage and you could do like a campaign type of deal it's a bunch of different scrimmages that chain link together like a tournament. And we had 2 games going side to side because then you could crisscross who you're playing. And it was fun, but it was long. Like we played for 8 hours and I was like, wow, we're like halfway through. So, but that was also our learning game. So it was slow, but I don't know if we were doing something wrong. Were we just really slow or we liked it, but it's like, is it just us? Because I really enjoyed it. I want to go back to playing it. So, but it was long, and the questions always come up is like, were we playing that right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't know anybody that has played it. I mean, now I do.
Anyways.
Now I know someone that's played it.
You know, one person.
Yes, 2, right?
Ooh.
Did you play with Brittany? Yeah,
I did. She got very upset. Well, see, I don't know if Brittany's watching, but there's basically it's like one person picks the what you're going to, which area or which I can't remember. It's been a few years now, but one person determines like what combat's going to happen, and I don't remember if they determine which place, if they're on like defensive or offensive or what's happening. But one person picks a scenario, and then 2 people go at it. So it's like a 1v1 game. But we had 2 1v1s, and then whoever wins this one goes to play, like it crisscrosses, like a tournament, right? Mm-hmm. So I was playing with Jess, who's a regular on the show, and Brittany was playing with Chris, he used to be more of a regular on the show, but he hasn't, since lockdown, he's on the show less. But so I was playing with Jess, and she just like crushed me, and I was like, something in this scenario is broken. Like I'm getting like, it seems like she found a loophole and she was just crushing me. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I like this. I don't see how I can win. And then she crushed me. It was over. So then Brittany came, and I had to fight Brittany. And I was like, well, I know which scenario we're playing. So I picked the same scenario and used the same technique against Brittany. But it was a completely different outcome, as in I still won, but Brittany lost her shit. Like, she was not happy. So, yeah. So anyways, it was a winning. It was a winning strategy. If you want to, but not if you want to be able to talk to your wife later.
Right.
So
does that if you did that strategy every game, is it like a guaranteed win? Because that seems broken.
Yeah, that's why I think it's broken. So
Yeah.
it could be one of those things like maybe we read the rules wrong, but we played so early. There was nothing on BGG. We played it as soon as we got it in the house. So there was like no support online. And there's probably somebody by now is being like, this is broken. And then I'm sure somebody's going to be like, no, you've read it wrong. It's this. And I'm like, that's what I need. I need somebody to tell me I've read it wrong or I'm doing something wrong.
There might be a fix for it. Like sometimes publishers do that, right? So there might be something out there that they've, addressed and they say, do this instead of that. And it changes it. But
I find sometimes like when you find something like that you think is broken in a game, it ends up like you misread, or like for me, it's like I misunderstood or misread another section of the rule, like how falling off works or how pushing works. Like I missed one aspect. So if you combine how this one actually works with this misunderstanding of this other technique or mechanic, and you combine those together, and then you get like your guaranteed win or loss, depending on your point of view. So, oh look, Brittany's all angry.
Yeah, she's getting flashbacks. So
yeah, I think I've only ever really pissed off Brittany maybe 3 times. 3 games. It's Hate, Dead of Winter, Terraforming Mars.
Were you a traitor in Dead of Winter?
Yeah, it was a good one. It was we were all playing together. It was me, Brittany, and Chris. I'm gonna wrap up this story, and I was playing Sparky the dog.
Yep.
And I was like, oh man, we're so close to winning this, right? And I was like, okay, I'm going to make a run for it. I'm going to go to the gas station. And I went to the gas station, and Sparky died. And I think it was a roll, because Sparky's immune to something. It's like, I think if you roll a bite when you're being attacked, he doesn't die or something. I can't remember. But I did something, and Sparky died right away. And then I was like, no, the dog died. And they're all upset. They're like, oh my God, the dog died. We lost, because I brought morale down to 0. And I was like, you lost. Ha! And I won because I killed Sparky. To win. And she was so upset because I had them I had them eating out of the palm of my hands, man. They thought I was in there to win it with them. And it was great. And Brittany got so upset she actually left the table. And Chris, who is a very calm, nice individual. He's not one to get angry. But Chris couldn't talk. He looked very upset. And he just kept his head down. He's just like just shook his head. And I was like, come on, guys. And nobody wanted to talk to me. They all left. I was like, that was good.
Awesome.
That was good. I had you guys suckered so bad. And then I killed the dog, which was just the...
yeah,
this made it so much worse.
Worst one.
Worse.
Yeah, just twisting the knife. Anyways. And then Terraforming Mars, Brittany just sucks. So the closest she's never beaten me, and the closest she's ever come to beating me was we had a 5-player game. 4-player, 5-player. How many? What's the max you play? I can't remember. It was.
It should be 0.
5, right? It's an awesome game. Shit your face.
I never want to play that game again. Ugh.
So we were playing 5-player, and then 2 people at the table just left mid-game because they had to go. So I was like, all right, we should wrap it up. And Brittany's like, no. We're going to keep this going. I was like, I understand, but them leaving is going to, we're halfway through the game. Them leaving is going to have, consequences. And she's like, no. Just because you're losing. You just want to do because you're losing. No, we're going to keep going. Okay, let's go. So we kept playing, and that was, I'll give her this. It's the closest she's ever gotten. and we did my score last, and I beat her by 1 point. That's the closest she's ever gotten. And the reason she lost is because she had something where she was getting points by every time somebody was building a city, and people who left were the ones that were building cities. And so they left, so they weren't building cities anymore. So if they stayed, she would have won, but they didn't, and she didn't want to reset.
It's an asterisk win for you, though.
What do you mean?
Because people left.
People left. Yeah, what'd you say? Was that?
It's an asterisk.
What?
Like it's
No. What did Mike say?
Nothing. I didn't say anything.
Do you not? So you don't like Terraforming Mars?
Not at all. I don't. We went over it in one of our like top 5s. I'll never play it again, and that's my number 1 because unless you're as experienced in the game as the other people at the table, you're not going to win. You have no shot at winning. So like the guy that I played with knows the deck, knows what cards, knows what strategies to do. And obviously I don't. And it was just it was a horrible experience because it was just like, let me play with 7-year-olds on a softball field and I'm just going to let them pitch to me and crank home runs the whole fucking day. So it was a bad experience to begin with. Unless you're on, I mean, there's little variation, but unless you're on the same plane as the people playing it. Like if you played it 20 times and it's my second, there's no shot at me winning. And it's not something I want to put myself on the table for. It's not.
I'll give you that. That's accurate.
Did you do the drafting?
Sorry. No, we've actually never done the drafting. I've heard like that's a way to go. But no, we've just never tried it that way.
The drafting greatly benefits people who know the game well, obviously, because if you know the kind of strategies to build up and stuff, then I was wondering, Mike, did they do the drafting on you?
Me?
Yeah, because that would have made your experience even worse, I think.
Chris, I tried to block that shit out of my mind. Like as soon as I got up from the table, I was like, "What just happened? I have no idea."
You should just play with someone who's not used to it.
No,
or somebody who's just not going to try to prove. Like, here's the thing. I had a similar experience with RTSs, like real-time strategies of video games, StarCraft. As soon as my first day in the video game industry, I went to the office and at lunch everybody plays StarCraft. And I was like, oh, cool. I've always wanted to play. I've never played it before. They're like, yeah, we have like, a pirated copy on the server. Just install it on your machine. And I was like, yeah, sure. Okay, I'll do that. And so I was like, okay, how do you play? I was like, oh, yeah, we'll show you at lunch. I was like, okay, sure. And lunch starts. I'm like, okay, now I'm ready. What do you do? They're like, oh, you'll figure it out. And I was like, I've never played RTS. I'll figure out what. And they're like, yeah, you got to go get materials. And then what? Like, I know nothing, right? And all of a sudden, I'm like, dicking around for like 15 minutes, and all of a sudden like ships are coming up and exploding my base, and I got people cheering from the other end of the room like, ah! I was like, yeah, delete. This thing's coming off my machine. That was a terrible experience because nobody taught me anything. They just threw me in there and they were just happy to run me over.
Yep.
So
have you played it since?
No.
There you go.
I never played, but I'm not a fan of real-time strategies to begin with. I like turn-based strategies, as it goes with I like things that are slow. Right. I like Civ 5. I like playing Civ 5.
That's why I like the Final Fantasy games, because you had all the time in the world to pick your character and which attack you were going to do, and it like paused the fight, right? It's like you have time to strategize. I always love that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a turn-based strategy guy myself.
Yep.
For sure.
Nope.
You don't like turn-based?
Too slow. I never got into the Final Fantasies because it stopped the fight. I'd rather do not a real time. Like I liked Halo Wars. I got into Halo Wars for a while, and that was an RTS, but it wasn't my gig either. Like both ends of that spectrum, I'm not. Give me God of War, give me Uncharted, give me Halo. I'm good.
Master of Orion, Civilization, Sid Meier stuff.
No.
No.
Oh, Civ 5 was awesome. I haven't touched 6 yet, but Civ 5 is addicting.
5 was great. 6 is pretty good. It's got new stuff, but it's not. There's nothing there that makes it better than 5. There's nothing really that makes it worse. But
if anybody out there has ever not played the Civ series, they should try Civ. I'd recommend Civ 5. You can buy it so cheap. It's always cheap on Steam sale. It's always like $10, get the entire series, all the expansions, and that game will one more turn you till like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
you're like just one more turn, and yeah, next thing you know, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, and you haven't slept at all. And
have you ever played
discovered new
Civilization:
content.
A New Dawn, the board game?
No, I have not.
It's very good.
Is it?
Yeah,
Very
they take the experience of Civilization and break it down to a very elegant. You do one action per turn, goes real fast.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's very good.
So it does a good job of like getting that like Civ the video game experience on the table, eh?
Yeah, well, before that there was a Sid Meier's Civilization that was basically the video game as a board game, and there was a lot to it. A lot of stuff that it was a lot of stuff to manage and stuff. And if you knew the video game, you could handle it pretty well. But the new one, the New Dawn, it's very elegant, very simple. You got 5 cards that are your actions. You pick which one you want to do, and then you can upgrade those with technology. All of the Civilization stuff is in there. It's even got the same characters from Civilization 5 or 6, I think from 6. But yeah, it's very good. Highly recommend.
I'll look into
We
that.
talked about that on the show. What was that in your top? Not IP. What the hell? What was that on?
It was in one of my tops. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, I
which
remember
one now.
that game.
I bring it up every now and then.
Yeah.
Keep reminding.
Well, it's just weird because I think it was overlooked by people who thought, "Oh, a Civilization game, that's going to be too big, too sprawling, too attacky. I'm going to get away from that." And it's not. I mean, there is combat, but it's not. It's kind of like Tapestry has combat. Not really, right? That kind of feeling. So.
Well, that's what happened. Tapestry came out, and that became the Civilization game of Civilization games.
No, it was a great game, not a great.
I'm looking at it, a Civilization game. It says it right there.
I just got the expansion for it. I like the game. It's just not a great Civilization.
Is the expansion good? I haven't played the expansion.
I just got it. I opened it up and punched it. Speaking of experiences where the person that teaches you ruins that game for you, as you know, Brass was done like that for me. I just bought Brass Birmingham, even though I said I'd never try any Brass again. I did it because I'm going to push through and try it again. So,
Nice.
Never say never.
It's a good game. I remember we played something wrong in it, but it was still enjoyable. It's just there's something in the money, like how you like the phase where you basically cash in your stuff and you get money. Like there's something we did wrong, but it was a really good game regardless. Like I would play it again for sure.
I like other Martin Wallace games too.
Did you get the new Libertalia, Chris?
I did, but I haven't tried it yet.
Oh, okay.
And again, that's another one. Libertalia, the original one, I had a bad experience with, but gonna give it another try.
Very curious about your pirate findings in that one, and that's going to be another one I talk about the insert, like Red Rising.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Well, you griped about the insert for what was it?
Red
something
Rising.
Else.
Is it Red Rising the deluxe edition or whatever that was?
It's a piece of shit.
It is.
The
insert in the deluxe is garbage. It's absolute garbage. I don't understand.
I like my favorite part. If I can't remember correctly, I actually wrote a review for Red Rising that I haven't recorded yet, and I wrote it back when it was released, so I don't even remember my comments. But the script's written, so I'll do that video eventually. But I think if I remember correctly, the insert has these little like holes, or divots in it, and it's got the flat clear piece on it, but if you pick it up, they just pour out the holes at the bottom.
Yep.
Doesn't make any sense.
Zero.
It's like who never did that? There's no point in it. And and then there's little baggies inside. I was like, I don't want to use the little baggies if it's got these cool little holders. I want to be able to use the insert properly.
Exactly. How about one? Oh, here we go. I love this. How about one? The card holders that they come with, right? The little card things, because you're constantly looking at cards. It doesn't hold your starting hand. Like they hang off the edge, right?
And they tip over really easy.
It's so dumb. The whole
I give me 1 second. One second.
Do it.
Getting them started on Red
It
Rising
wouldn't
again.
be a 42. It wouldn't be a full 42 episode if somebody didn't get up and go fix something.
I'm back.
Yeah, and go take. Yep.
It's
I
usually
just
me.
got-
I go on my shelf.
I just got this.
Oh
Ooh.
yes,
Oh, cool.
yes. I saw
And-
those online, and I didn't even know they made those.
Yeah, so like these are it's a pimp set of card holders. So you got this box, and then you open it up, make sure I don't not, and you got like 5 of them in there.
That's
I pulled
cool.
one out already. But these holds, first of all, they're sturdy. They got a curve, so it doesn't tip over, and they're thick enough they'll hold cardboard tokens and cards.
Oh, cool.
And it's staggered, so you can hold like 3 different rows, 4 different rows, 3 different rows cards.
When did they make those? Because I feel like that didn't get advertised at all.
Yeah.
I never
totally.
saw those. Yeah.
Yeah, here's the thing. I met up with Helena at from Bird Island Games at GAMA, and just said hi. She disappeared for a second. She showed up and she had one of those. She was like, "Here you go," and I was like, "That's fantastic." And then everybody I showed at GAMA, they're like, "Yeah, those are awesome." I was like, "How does everybody know about these other than me?" Like, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Unless it was maybe it's something that they got out at GAMA and then they're gonna put it on their website, because I feel like I had not seen them before GAMA. So maybe.
Yeah,
But I hope that they sell them, because those are cool.
Those are neat.
yeah, they're great.
I like the ones. I still like the ones that I showed on the show.
Andrew has them.
Oh yeah, the modular ones, right?
Yeah. You ever see these, Mark?
No, what are those? Those look cool.
So-
What are those?
They're plastic, but you can put them in different configurations to hold whatever you're
Oh.
playing,
Neat.
and they come in different colors.
Oh, yeah, it looks like a little Lego set in there.
Yeah.
Looks
Yeah.
like a knockoff Lego set, like Connects or something.
They're really cool. I mean, they only hold one. Like that would be your tray.
Yeah.
And that one that you have holds 3, but you can put them in depending on what you're holding and how much you're holding. You put them out, you put them up.
Like I haven't had a chance to, because I haven't played anything since I got back from GAMA, so I haven't had a chance to use these, but I'm looking forward to it.
Allison in the comments said that it was part of the Into Deep Kickstarter.
I got it.
Oh.
I didn't see those.
Did you open your
Yeah.
box?
Maybe an add-on of some kind. I don't know, but yeah, I'll
Yeah.
have to look at that for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, those are cool.
Play Terraforming Mars with it.
Nope.
It'll make it so much better.
It won't at all. What makes it better is not playing it.
I ironically I don't know if it's irony, but Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition.
That I'll play.
I've never bet Brittany at that. So as far as that OG Terraforming Mars, I beat her all the time. The Ares Expedition, I just can't. It doesn't work with my brain. The way my brain works is just completely different. I like building a giant machine and triggering it on my terms, but having to wait for somebody else to be like, now you can do this and this. It works out. I'm pretty good at guessing what other people are going to play, but still doesn't work out in my favor. I think I'm still in my old Terraforming Mars habits, and they don't work out. Like I get a lot of actions set up, but I don't get to trigger them as much because I don't keep doing the trigger action. And if I do, then you don't get to do other things. I just like all the options from Terraforming Mars. Like I like both games, but I like the OG better.
Is it? I heard it was kind of like a Race for the Galaxy kind of feel.
I've actually never played Race for the Galaxy, but I've heard the same thing.
Me neither.
There you go.
I must have played
from-
that like 100 times.
From what I've heard about Ares, I want to try that one. Like I would give that one a shot. As far as OG TM, I'm out. Like I never ever.
Never say never.
Maybe you should come over here and I'll play with my eyes closed, and then we'll.
No, you beat me. It doesn't matter.
You should play.
Well,
I've only played maybe like 2 or 3 times.
I don't want to play it. I'll have. I don't. It's not gonna happen.
I
What
feel
if-
like
I would
if
enjoy
I-
it if it was on the same level though. Like if I was playing with people that had only played it once, and we were all playing it together, I don't think I would enjoy it.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Did you start off with like a starting? Because they have those starting cards, like
Yep.
what are they called? The industry, can't remember what they're called already. But did you get one of those starting cards where you get to keep all your cards and you don't know whatever? Because corporations, that's it. There's like these starting corporation cards. So if it's your first game, you get those, and I think you get to keep all your cards at the beginning, so you don't have to pay for them. So it's like if you're a new player, you get that like one up because it'll be faster for you to build. And you'll have more money to spend sooner because then you'll have cards. You don't have to spend your money for the cards. So there's a little like boost if you're new. I did that once when I played with somebody, but I didn't realize how good this person was at learning games. So they just took off right away. I was like, me and Brittany were both looking at each other. I was like, we're never doing this again. I was like, you're not getting a starting corporation card ever again because we couldn't catch up to them. They were just like off to the races. They figured it out instantly. And if you pick up on it right away and you get that starting corporation with that like boost of cards in the beginning, then there's like no catching up to you. So
it could very well be that I just suck at the game.
Oh, that's highly likely.
It's most likely.
I didn't want to say it.
It's most likely. We probably gave all the benefits to new player, and I still probably sucked.
Lockup game came in. Oh,
cool.
Yep, I've got mine right here.
Very cool.
I haven't opened it yet.
Speaking of like games I saw at, or like I know I haven't talked about GAMA a lot, new things I saw, but going way back to that. I played a game, Be Hexed.
By Covert. Kurt Covert. Yeah.
So I played Be Hexed and I liked it. I won, so maybe that's why I liked it.
Sure.
So it's always hard to know. Like if I lost, would I have liked it as much as I did? But I enjoyed it because basically like hot potato with superpowers, because you're passing around this hex, and if the hex lands on you and you don't have a card to deal with it, it like explodes, and I think you lose a point. The other person gets. I can't remember how the points exactly are handled. I played one game, but I liked it. And I like the fact that people kept trying to hex me, and I'd always have a card to like bounce it back or negate their spell or turn it around. So that was fun. And then there's this little shopping mechanic in the center. So you're building so it's a deck builder. So you're building your deck and you're bouncing this hex around, and it was fun. I actually really enjoyed it. I liked the concept when I heard about it, and then as soon as I sat down to play it, I liked it. So that's a good start. It's 2 for 2. I like the concept, and I sat down to play it, and it like paid out.
And you won.
Yeah. It was fun, and I won. So it's
Kurt's got great stuff in his lineup. His catalog of games is pretty stellar.
Have you seen Boop?
No.
Oh wait.
Boop is. I did not play it, but I definitely want to. It's looks adorable. It's a mattress, like a bed mattress, and it's got like a grid on it, and it's puffy. So even the prototype's puffy, but I think the plan is to make it puffy, where the box is like the bed frame, and then the top, and then the mat that you put on top of the box is going to be a cushiony mat that you play on. And you have cats that jump up on the bed, and they start off as kittens, I believe, and then they jump up on the bed, and whatever grid you put your cat on, it basically, the springs of the bed bounce the other cats away. And it's basically like connect 4, you're connecting 3. So you got to line up 3 cats in a row, but it's got to be 3 adult cats, because if you line up 3 like baby cats, the kittens, then they turn into adult cats, and then you have to like line them up. So you have to line 3 adult cats up, something like that. I didn't get a chance to play, but the idea of like if I place my cat, it even bounces the other cats away too. So it bounces your cats away, bounces their cats away. And then you're trying to like bounce other cats into position. It's an interesting it's a super simple game. I don't remember why. I can't remember exactly how to play, but yeah, it was basically place a cat, cats bounce, and you're trying to line up 3 cats in a row to win.
That sounds like a fun little puzzly game.
Do they actually bounce, or do you just place a cat and then move them?
You move them.
Okay. Bounce. Like if the mattress was puffy and it was moving, that would be pretty.
Yeah, it's not random. Yeah, it's not random.
We made a small mattress with actual coils that.
See? Oh, kidsplaining. Hey. I hung out with the kidsplaining peeps we spent a lot of time at the Glass Die. Yeah. Which was a fun time. Cool. Good people.
for joining in the comments
Kid-
there, explaining.
Kids Planning. If you haven't subbed, sub.
There you go.
And they've got an amazing set.
Yeah,
got clicks.
I've seen some pictures of their set. Like they've posted some stuff online, and yeah, the equipment and the lighting and everything is pretty stellar.
Yep, I'm very jelly.
So what stood out? What stood out at GAMA?
What stood out? You know, I made some little notes. Oh, one thing that stood out was I played Jay Cormier's new game, Harrow County, based on the comic book series, and it's like a demented comic book series. Like it's messed up. So it's like a 1v. It's interesting. It's a 1v1 game that can play up to 4 players. It's a weird way to describe it. Because you have like these 3 different starting factions you can play, and they each have kind of like their own abilities and things they're trying to do to win. So it's a asynchronous gameplay. And then you could add, so when you're playing just 1v1, you choose between one of these 3 factions. So everybody chooses one of those factions and you play that faction. And you're playing on this hexagonal board, and you're trying to achieve whatever your goal is. When I played, I was trying to destroy these little town buildings by dropping storms. So I was able to place storms on the board, and I had to make a chain of storms to start destroying these buildings. And the other team had to come save their people, which I was holding behind my territories. On my side of the board, so they had to. There's a lot to it. No way I can do it justice here. But this one character, which is a witch, I can't remember what her name was. If you want to play as a 3rd player, you can come in as this witch. And if I'm remembering correctly, we didn't get to do the witch. She's controls these roots that are like move across the board, and I think they like strangle people or take control of people. And you can put like. He has these little meeples with worms in their brain, so she can control meeples by like infecting them, kind of like Wrath of Khan.
That's cool.
And it's just demented as far as the story goes, but the powers are so varied. There's way too much to describe in like a short synopsis, but that's the best I can do right now. But yeah, Harrow County.
That's cool.
So I'm looking forward to trying that again.
Is that coming straight from a publisher, or going to Kickstarter or something like that, or?
Oh, I think he said he was going to Kickstarter, but that won't be till like summer.
Okay.
So he's got some time. I'm hoping to get in some like tabletop simulator plays of it with Jay.
Nice.
Now that I'm back home, so yeah. So I made some notes here of things that came to mind. The detective series from Portal Games, like that's it's never been really something that I was interested in, just because when it comes to detective games, I suck really bad. Like I am no good, and if it's cooperative, it's worse. I will bring down the whole team with me, because although I am not good at figuring out puzzles, I am very good at convincing you that the wrong answers are correct.
I'll Sparky.
So like I'm really good at that.
You're a good trader, even though you don't mean to be.
Yeah, so I'm terrible. I was like, you can't tell me that my story that I weaved did not fit better than the actual story. And but they have one that's like it's a Batman one, and I think it was called Everybody Lies. Batman Everybody Lies. So you put a comic book license on anything, and you've got my interest. I'm in there.
That's like a challenge.
So, I'm right now. It's funny.
One that you've already done. Yeah.
What do you got there?
Have you played that one?
No, I have not.
That's his game.
That's his game, yeah.
Oh, I have not. I haven't played them all, but I said I will. I'm game for everything.
Okay.
I have not played that.
Yeah, it's me and Richard Lyons made it.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. I'm jelly because I haven't made anything.
You have one. You just got to get back to it. That's all.
Yeah, and now I got to put a Batman license on it. which seem to be everywhere. There's like Batman Munchkin, Batman Detective, Batman just like whoring himself out everywhere.
Yep. That's how he's a billionaire.
And that's how you keep fueling up that the Batmobile. Gas expensive.
Yeah, he gets those royalties from all the games.
That's a good question. Where's he get the gas for his Batmobile?
Does it run on gas? Did he come up with some maybe like purified? Maybe he's just like mulching bats.
It's got little bats inside, and they flap their wings like that, and it creates wind.
Yeah, well, I'm sure like he's got his whole Wayne Enterprise. I'm sure he's funneling jet fuel in, so he's sneaking it into the Batcave somewhere. But there's a lot of
got to get it in there, yeah.
Yeah, how to get in there? Who knows? Maybe he's got a pump. He's got I don't think if you could build an entire like high-tech Batcave underneath your mansion, then you could probably get you could probably run a well of gas.
It runs on guano. Yep.
There you go.
Oh my god, that was awesome.
Well done.
Perfect.
Well done, Donnie. That was good.
Perfect.
There's a lot of questions about Batman. Once you start picking on any superhero thing, you can start kind of breaking them apart until like,
Oh yeah.
Some things are best left unsaid, or like just leave it alone. Don't question it, and it's just roll with the punches.
Enjoy them for what they are.
Yeah.
But Maja, that said, I have come across I can't remember who it was. I was talking to someone and with and without glasses, and they look like two different people, and I was like, oh my god, it's the Clark Kent thing, it works. You look like a completely different, I can't remember who it was, but they look like a completely different person with their glasses.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not gonna bring out mine.
Where did Chris go?
Yeah, we have
and someone else. Hold on, different clothes. I need a little curl. Now I'm different.
Just draw one in Sharpie.
Yeah, take a dry erase.
What else? I'm trying to think. Like I try to like jot down some quick notes of what I saw. Like I saw you know what? I'm not really into puzzles, but there's some like awesome looking 4D puzzles, is what they're called. At the show
off the table. I know.
Like no, like they're sculptures. Like they're puzzles, but they're full on sculptures of like Star Destroyers or like Thor's hammer, and they look pretty epic. Like they look awesome. But I hate building puzzles.
Aren't those just 3D puzzles?
Yeah, they are.
So 4D is technically time, right? So I guess it does take time.
So, but I think the company's called 4D Puzz.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's why they refer to. I think they refer to them as 4D puzzles because it says 4D Puzz everywhere. So that's what I assumed. But yeah, they look awesome. So there's a lot of those there. And saw like Stalingrad Z, which is I like zombie games, and I can't remember who put it out though. And it's basically like it's like a Stalingrad situation with zombies, and it's done on like an atlas, you know, like so instead of a board, you're playing on a book. So you just kind of I like zombie games, and I like games that take place on an atlas. So that seemed interesting to me.
Cool.
Like it didn't like it had me at zombies and Atlas. So I don't know much more about it, but I can probably piece it together, kill the zombies or lose.
There you go. So there's your auto back. If you see zombies, you're automatically getting it.
I'm in. Yeah, and then you combine that with superheroes. You got Marvel zombies in like Flynn. I'm a big Marvel Zombies fan.
How many other games have the Atlas? I know Near and Far and Sleeping Gods have it.
Jaws of the Lion.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I haven't played that one.
Yeah,
I remember seeing that though.
The storybook series does too. The
Stuffed Fables.
Stuffed Fables.
Yep. The Princess Bride one, and then the newer Wizard of Oz has it.
Oh, cool.
I know nothing about that Princess Bride game other than it's got a pretty box.
It does.
Was that a Funko one?
It was Ravensburg. I think the first one was Funko. I'm not 100% on that one, but it's cool, right? Because you're playing through the story, and it's actually the story, and you're playing with the minis, and you're doing stuff to move around, and you have to accomplish like in the story, it reads like quotes from the book and stuff, and you have to accomplish certain things to progress the story. But the second, like you turn, it goes from like, okay, I understand how the mechanisms work and I get it. And you turn it over to the second chapter, and it just kicks you right in the face. And I was playing it with Bobby and Keith, and I'm like, I want you to play this. They're like, is it good? I'm like, I just want you to play it. And they're like, well, that doesn't sound good. And they played through the intro, and they were like, okay, what? I'm like, all right, now play the second one. And they were like, what the fuck? And I'm like, all right, is it me or is the game just that brutal? And it seemed unbeatable the way that the game worked, but I haven't seen anything about it being like broken or anything. It just,
At what point was it where it kicked you in the face?
some things are going on that you have to accomplish while things are moving around, and you have to have certain people in a certain position to multiple times to progress the story, and it's just nearly impossible in the amount of time you have to do it.
So it's
I never went
timed?
back to it,
Is
but it has a storybook to answer your question.
She's asked.
Yeah, I was asking, is it timed? Because you just said in the time you have to accomplish it.
No, you have like a certain amount of actions or a certain amount of rounds or something in
okay.
order to accomplish what you need to accomplish before something like the game ends, kind of thing. So it's not a timed based thing. It's just
Okay.
you're fucked if
What?
you don't do it by this certain thing. And it was never like not even halfway to where I needed to be by the time that was over.
Gotcha.
So you
Could have been
you
reading
played
it wrong,
poorly.
but huh?
You played poorly, is what you're saying.
It's also possible, but then so did Keith and Bobby. So I'm okay with that. Oh, I don't know
Excited
that
about the
one.
new leader game. Ahoy! I haven't seen that.
I saw
Oh yes, I have.
Derek Funkhauser share a picture of it, but I missed
Yeah.
that playthrough.
I saw the picture on
So
Facebook.
far, I'm not a big fan of the letter games lineup, like Root and what's the other one? Oath. I don't even want to try it from what I've heard about it. Like it's just
Oh, is it? I have Oath unopened on my shelf. Is it?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know.
Ask Chris about Oath.
Oh, okay. I'm going to start off by saying I'm a huge fan of Root, though. So
Oh.
they haven't burned the bridge, but they lit the match with Oath for me because I had such a brutal time with that. Yeah, I don't want to go into all that again. I had a little bit of a rant whenever we first talked about it. But yeah, it was a very, it feels like a very deterministic game where at the end you're like, oh, there's no way I could have won. So that's nice kind of thing.
They have a really good, when you open the box and you play it for the first time, they have a really, really well done hand-holding experience for all of your first turns. Let's just say you were to do this and you draw from these cards, and let's just say you pulled this card, and it talks you through like what you're taking and why you're taking it kind of thing. And then it's like your turn and you're like, I have no idea what I'm doing. No clue.
I don't like that in games, by the way. They do it in Sleeping Gods too. They do this kind of walkthrough, and it's a fake kind of thing because they're like, now draw a card. You got this, and I look at the card and go, I didn't get that, but okay. And then they're like, now you choose to do this, and I'm like, I want to play the game. I don't want to be told how this all happens and unfolds and stuff. I just want to read a rule book and then play a game like normal.
it's funny because that reminds me of video games like we were talking about earlier, where it's like you start and then it has like then it almost like takes you out of your actual battle, and it's like, oh, by the way, let's show you how this move works, and then if you do this, and then you gotta like practice, and it's like, oh, this just took me out of the story. I'll just button mash and figure it out.
I think that's where it stems from, right? Whenever you get in video games, they're like, here's how you walk. Yeah. And it's fine if it's real quick, but board games, you can't be as quick as you can be in video games. Video games, most of the time, you're like, okay, yeah, I'm shooting, and okay, I'm out of it, kind of thing. But board games, you got to take them through this whole gamut, and it never teaches the full thing anyway. So, like at the end of the whole Sleeping Gods thing, at the end of it, it goes, now go read the rule book. What do I do all that for? If I have to go read the rule book afterwards. Rant.
Well, I thought, from what I remember, Jaws of the Lion had a lot of hand holding in the beginning, but I thought that rule book worked fairly well as a tutorial, because it was like, this is all you can do. You can just do these actions, ignore everything else on your board. You can just pretty much like attack with your sword or whatever the actions are. And then you go to the next level. It's like, okay, now we're going to expand your knowledge. Now you can do this, play this level with this additional knowledge. So they keep taking you from level to level and teaching you like one new thing. And they're like, okay, go. With what you know, go complete this level.
But then how long does each one take you? Like, does it feel frustrating to be like, I might feel like, no, just throw it at me, because there's little bits at a time where I'm doing partials, like not the full experience, might frustrate me.
Well, it contributes to the campaign as a whole. So it's just level 1.
Okay.
Right. So it's not like a trial level. It's all just part of the same story, but it is part of the tutorial. So since you're playing a campaign, you're going to play from the beginning anyways. So it just kind of fits in. So maybe that's why it kind of works for me, because it was a campaign.
So you don't have to reset, and like it's already, you keep going from there.
Yeah, you just keep going forward.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty good.
Can you decide not to do the walkthrough and just learn the game and then start it, or do you have to do the walkthrough?
I think you have to. I don't think you have to do the walkthrough, but I think you have to do, like, if you know how to play, you could start from the beginning, but you'd probably be cheating because I think if you have access to all your powers in the beginning, because your character evolves, right? So if you were doing, mind you, the levels aren't really designed for you to lose. So if you went into the beginning of the game with more knowledge and probably did things you weren't taught to do before you were taught them, you would probably just come out the end the same. Victorious.
So there's not just a rule book that teaches you everything and then you can play?
In Jaws, I don't think there is. I think it's, if I remember correctly, I believe it's like tutorial, and then you're good to go. I think there might be a reference guide. It's been a while since I looked at Jaws Line, but that's what I remember. But I remember learning it great. Like, I thought it was like, oh, this is a nice bite-sized, because Gloomhaven is like daunting, right? A lot of people won't play Gloomhaven because they're like, oh, that's a big scary rule book, that's a lot going on, and they made it bite-sized with Jaws, so I think it's great. And then they made the rule book bite-sized, so you play and you're like, okay, this isn't as scary as I thought, and then you keep going, you're like, okay, that's not as scary as I thought. So you're not learning a bunch of things at once, you're just learning, like, okay, here's how you attack, collect coins, and that's it. And the next round you're like, okay, here's how you spend those coins. Okay, here's how you learn XP. I can't remember exactly the order it happened in, but that was it. They just taught you, like, here's how you attack, go attack.
It was so clever for them to come out with Jaws of the Lion, which was more approachable with the fold-out book, easier to set up, and like getting ready to do the Frosthaven Kickstarter, right? So they got people who maybe have passed on Gloomhaven because it was daunting, and then could pick up Jaws of the Lion and get started quicker, learn it easier, and then you're into it, and then you see the Frosthaven Kickstarter, and you're like, I'm in. So that was well done.
You could pick up, like, you could play through Jaws and be like, okay, I got that, the way it was spoon fed to me, and then you could read the Gloomhaven book, and you're like, oh, I got this. Is like the same thing. Then it starts getting complicated when we start getting to the card customization. That's what they cut out of Jaws, and which is probably the most complicated thing in the rule book, I think, of Gloomhaven. That and figuring out where your enemy is positioned, like where your enemy should go. There's like a quiz on BGG that where you can just go through and you're like, okay, here's a scenario. What do you do? And you're like, oh, it's obviously this. And they're like, wrong because of this. Okay. And then the next one, you're like, okay, well, I'll just apply the rule I just learned. This. And you're like, wrong. It's like, oh, come on. And then you're wrong 20 answers in a row. And you're like, But
I remember there was a lot of going back in the rule book at every scenario because your enemies move different, and with the with the walls, the push and the pull, and the setting up traps and stuff like that, and pushing into a trap, and it's like, oh my god. And it felt like we were constantly going back in the rule book and figuring out line of sight and figuring out, and it was like, oh my god.
I think at some point you just got to be like, we're just gonna go with it.
Yep. Well, we played a bunch of scenarios where we didn't realize you weren't allowed to set up traps or like basically block enemies into a section. So we got through a few scenarios by doing that where it's like we were completely blocking off enemies and like locking them in that one room, and it's like just get them right past, and then eventually we read that it's like, yeah, you're not allowed to do that. Whoops.
You just barricaded everybody. You just built walls as you walked.
Yeah. Why not? Gonna collapse a cave on them and then be done. Yeah.
House rule.
House rule. Yep, house rule. All right, so GAMA happened. You see some cool shit.
Mhm.
Hopefully we'll be there next year, so I can see some cool shit. There's something else you're working on that I'd like you to talk about. Happens to be in a comic realm.
Yes, I'm starting a comic book, and it's a comic book I've already written. It's been written for a while, and it's 7 issues long. And I'm planning on running it on Kickstarter, and the art's already started. I wonder if I can probably bring some art up. Like, can I share? Can you share?
Yeah.
Can I share from here?
You should be able to.
Yep.
On the bottom, you should be able to.
I wonder if I can find anything on here. I'll talk while I try to see if I can find anything.
The art's really cool. The art looks great.
Did you do the art?
No, I didn't do the art. I'm working with an artist in Italy, and that I met. It was a chain of events that led me to this guy in Italy, and he's great. He's great, and he's waiting for feedback from me right now. So tomorrow I got to take some time and supply that man with the feedback.
So should we give our feedback on the sketches you're about to show?
Yeah, sure.
This reminds me, Mike, that I've thought about it before, but I keep forgetting. But I found a comic book that I wrote and drew with a friend when I was 12 years old. It is so bad. I can't wait to share it on the show with you.
Oh my God, yes, please.
I got to scan it in and all that stuff, but
That'd be great.
Just to let you, I didn't realize some of the. How do I put this?
No spoilers. Just drop it.
I'm just saying there's certain things about it that as a 12-year-old kid you don't think it sounds like that, but it's called Massive Men. And some of the imagery just goes along with it. I can't wait to show you, but unfortunately I don't have it now. But just there's a teaser for you. It's bad. It's gonna be great.
All right, so join us next week while we look at 12-year-old self and Massive Men. Oh my God!
All right, so I can share. Here's the character designs. I found those. 1 second. Let me screen share here. What is this? I don't know what these options are.
Share should be able to get that.
I'm good. Okay, so hold on. Let me go to boom.
There it is.
There you go. So I found that.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
Those are 4 of the main characters from issue 1.
I like the
Nick,
style.
Jack, Jill, and Casper.
Yeah, the style's great.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
And if I find any more, I did. I just found another one. Hold on, let me share again. I just happened to stumble on another one. This is the only other one I think I have on this computer, or access from this computer that I can share you.
Do you want to give a little synopsis of what it's about, or
Yep,
I will. About it? Oh, okay, cool.
I will. So there you go. So that's page 1. That's actually the first draft of page 1. It's changed a little bit, but
you're not sharing.
Thank you.
I'm not seeing.
I'm not sharing. I thought. I missed a step.
Yeah.
Boom.
There we go.
There you go.
There it is.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
So yeah, that's page 1. No text in it yet. But the idea is it's this world where everybody, it's, in True Blood where it's like werewolves, vampires, everybody exists. So this is kind of like that type of world, but everybody's okay with each other. So everybody knows vampires exist and zombies and werewolves and all that. And they are like a vampire and a werewolf and a human are the equivalent of being like white, black, Asian. Do you know what I mean? There's still also whites, blacks, and Asians in this world, but it's that's where they are. That's how common it is. It's just every day. Everybody just accepts it. But there's also there's also like some slight like racism against vampires. So some like places don't allow vampires to enter and that type of thing. But it's all done in like that's rare. So it's not like the whole world is against vampires. It's just the odd, like bigot in this world against that type of race. And there's a lot of things I don't want to give away just yet.
Sure.
But it's that setting. So it's kind of like True Blood meets Friends because it's got kind of a sitcom feeling. So it's like sarcastic, it's funny, and then it deals with some real things, but it's just the way the characters deal with it. It's not a superhero guy in tights and capes punching each other in the face. It's not a very actiony comic. It's more a talky comic, but so a lot of it comes down to my writing, and hopefully it's good because I like it.
As you should.
And I think it's funny. And the art is great. So the artist is Marco Leone, and he just won an award in Italy for his work. So he does great stuff. So I'm looking forward to working with him, and we're hoping to get the Kickstarter for that out like end of this year or early next year. We'll see, because I've actually never done a comic book before, so it depends how long the process takes, right? Like it's going to take him time to draw it, and then I have to give him feedback. Like my scripts, on my part, the scripts are done. I wrote the scripts a long time ago. So now it's just a lot of back and forth. So that's it. Keep an eye out for it. I'm not ready to say much more just yet. It's too early.
As we get closer, just keep us abreast of the situation, and we'll share out the links.
Yeah, that'd be great.
What happens? Yeah, absolutely.
Is the Kickstarter going to cover all 7 issues, or just like the first few? Or?
I was thinking about that, and then after sitting with it for a while, I am going to do all 7 issues on one Kickstarter with the option of like a trade paperback version. But if you get the 7 issues, I'm going to have variant covers from different artists. So for those collectors like me, I'm a collector, so I like to get try to do some cover treatments. Like I was always a fan of those special collections where you put all the covers together.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then make one big picture across.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to make one. So I'm hoping to make one of those. Right? Yeah, Jim Lee.
Yeah.
I had that in the living room, all those different issues together.
Yeah, so
they had the one that had the fold out. That was all 4 of them.
Yeah. So it's exactly it. So I'm hoping to put something like that together as like a stretch goal and see what we can do there. So I do know some people that have put out successful comic book Kickstarters. So actually, he does art for Boardgames too. He's done some stuff for was it Arcane Wonders? I don't remember. But is Derek Lufman. He's a friend of mine. He's here in London. He's a great artist, and he does a lot of stuff for like Marvel and everywhere. He works with all the big guys, and I'm not working with him. I can't afford him.
Yeah,
he's great. He's a great artist. I can't
Marvel
afford him.
chances are.
Yeah. So, but yeah, he's done a lot of successful Kickstarters. So I told him, I was like, I might not be able to afford you, but I need to pick your brain when it comes to running this Kickstarter successfully, because he always does really well with his Kickstarters. So
that's cool.
That's cool.
Good. Wish you success. That'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, you showed me the art. I don't know. I think it was before GAMA, but you showed me the art, that panel, and the characters, and that art style looks really cool.
Yeah, and it's exactly what I was looking for. There's another story actually I wanna put together too. It's just a 1-issue thing, and it requires a different art style. I'm very much into tying my writing with a specific art style, so it took me a while to find just the right artist. So I think Marco was perfect for this one. It's perfect style, and everything for the other one. I need something a little more leaning toward a little more realistic.
Okay.
Where not such exaggerated proportions. For the other story I'm telling, for completely different set in reality.
Actual reality.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
Nice. They're fun. Should we play some games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? The trivia or monstrosity?
Let's ask her-
I'll rock you through trivia if you want.
Sure.
Right.
Didn't we figure out that you could have played too last
Yeah, I'm
time?
not gonna do it. I'm gonna because then it's another person taking turns. It'll make it too long.
Oh,
I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure. It would take too long if we have 4 people trying to complete this thing.
or we do the pie like 4 slices and you win.
Oh, had a question about the comment. I believe it's going to be a physical book, right? He said a hardback.
Yeah, he said,
Yeah. With the
Yep.
trade paperback. I'm sure they'll be digital too. We'll ask when he comes back.
Yep. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a comic book artist, just like every other kid.
I can't fucking wait to see
Oh,
the
Massive
mind
Man?
of 12-year-old Chris.
oh man, it
Oh
is.
God.
It's just it's bad writing enough so where you'll be laughing. So
I can't wait. It should be
yeah.
it should be you. The intro next week should be you reading your 12-year-old comic. I won't make it. The camera will be on. I'll be on the floor.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Oh, I bet.
I can't wait to see it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta scan it in, but it's
Can't
pretty
wait.
crazy finding something that old though. I was surprised that I still had it. Found it like in a box or something.
And
Yeah,
you
I
said
don't
you
have
wrote
it.
it and drew it?
A friend of mine and I wrote it together, and I drew it. Yeah,
Oh
Yeah.
God.
and of course, at 12 years old, you don't have any original ideas, right? So you're just gonna see rip off after rip off idea, and not even in a good way, like the worst case scenario. I don't want to build it up too much. It's
Are you
it's just
still
a bad comic.
Are
That's
you
all.
still friends with this person?
Unfortunately, no. They moved away when we were kids and never saw him again.
Because I was going to say that would be a good opportunity to tell them, hey, by the way, I'm
Yeah.
going to
It's about to be on TV. Yeah.
Oh God. Invite him on the show next week. That would be great.
My brother actually used to do his own comics too. In fact, he made Star Trek comedy comics where it was old Kirk gang and stuff, but it was comedy, and they were pretty funny, especially if you're a Star Trek fan. And he showed it to the guy that plays Chekhov on like at a
That's cool.
convention. He actually showed it to him, and he looked at it and laughed and stuff. So yeah.
That's neat.
Funny convention story. I actually, I was a huge Tales from the Crypt fan.
Ooh.
Love Tales from the Crypt. I used to watch it all the time. Me and my nephew, my nephew's like 4 years younger than I am. We used to just like every Friday night or Saturday, whenever it was on, we would just sit in my room, order pizza, and just watch Tales from the Crypt. And I was Fan Expo one year. I believe it was Fan Expo. The Crypt Keeper, the guy who does the voice of the Crypt Keeper, was at Fan Expo. And I was like, oh, I got to meet him. And I went, and there was like all the booths lined up. And I got there, and I saw this huge lineup. I was like, oh. I was like, I so wanted to see him. And he was like, hey, come over. And I was like, okay. I was like, he's like, no, this lineup's not for me. It's for the guy who played Spike from Buffy.
Oh,
So I was like, he was like, yeah, he's right. He's like right beside me. And I was like, so it was like nobody there for the Crypt Keeper. So I sat there, and he was such a nice guy. And we just talked the whole time, and he was talking about, he was like, yeah, the DVD collection's coming out. This was a long time ago. He's like, yeah, the DVD collection's coming out of Tales from the Crypt series. Like, oh, it's awesome. So I got him to sign some of my stuff, and he was just such a great guy. And that was my. So you mentioned meeting, or was it your brother met Chekhov? Was that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what that reminded me of. I don't know why. I'm sorry. I'll ramble forever.
I actually I got to be like right next to Michael Rooker, I think it is. Yondu.
Yondu, yeah.
But it was before he was Yondu. He had just started being in Walking Dead, and so
Merle.
there were like 4 people in his line. I was in line to see Ray Park, and so I was just like, oh wow, he's shorter than me. It was like he always seems like a big guy on TV. He's a little guy.
Well, we have so many to go on. We don't know how tall Chris is. Chris could be 7'4". We have no clue.
It's true.
No.
He's a giant.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm average. I'm like 5'10".
I was gonna say I don't think Chris is 6 feet.
Is that average? 5'10" is average? That's
Is it not?
I don't know. I hope not.
5'10", 5'11", something like that.
No, you're a giant.
Yep.
I'm 5'7.5". If anything, that's average.
Yeah, I'm like
Anything that I.
depending on which 7-Eleven I walk out of, I'm 5'6", 5'7", somewhere around there.
Oh, I forgot about this. I brought this out earlier. Have you guys heard of this?
Cult of the Deep.
No.
Yeah.
That looks amazing.
Yeah. It was. I got one of the few copies that BA Games had to give out. We're going to be producing some content for them.
Cool.
Sam from BA Games was talking to me about this, and as he was describing it, because it's like, these cult worshiping people, and it's like semi cooperative, and he's describing to me, and I was like, that sounds like Bang, like Bang the dice game, and he was like, yeah, it's kind of got like Bang. It's got like the sheriff and the renegades, but they're like warlocks and the high priestess and whatever. So it's got that circle of people. But there's also these altars with special powers. So think of it as Bang with magical powers. And then there's these altars that if you satisfy what's required, you get these additional powers from the altars that you can use to help you or help the sheriff or the master wizard, whatever it is in Cult. I can't remember the exact titles for Cult of the Deep, but it sounded really cool. I like this. I like this idea of like magical superpowered Bang. So it's and the idea of like satisfying these altars to get superpowers and kind of customizing like what abilities I want by satisfying different altars that are in the center of the table that are accessible to anybody. So anyways, that was sitting right here, so I thought I'd bring that up.
Who's if it says it on the box, who's the artist?
Who's the artist?
Because that art is amazing.
All artists should be on the front cover.
It should be.
Right?
I agree.
I don't see any names. Oh, yeah, Made in China. Nope, that's not his name.
No. Is in his middle name? In his middle name?
In his middle name. Made is his first name. Or her first name. No, there's no names on this.
Oh man, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Who published? You said
BA Games.
Badass.
That doesn't even sound familiar.
Right there.
I don't know.
I don't think I've ever heard of them.
Yeah.
They got a goat logo. But yeah, he was running me through the game, and I was like, that sounds pretty cool. So yeah, we're gonna do some content together. I'm looking forward to it, actually.
Cool. Very cool.
All right. So let's Trivial Pursuit, right? Is that what we're doing?
80s version.
80s trivia.
80s trivia.
Okay. I just added a banner. So on the bottom of your screen, you'll see the categories you can pick from. In addition to, because I'll keep it true to the source material, Stranger Things. If you want to go at Stranger Things as a question, it will count towards one of the 5 other categories if you get it correctly, and we'll do first to 5. I made a little chart with French toast on the side there, so I remember to look up French toast. First person to get one question right in each of the 5 categories, your Stranger Things would count as any one that you want it to be. So
I could put my Stranger Things in music.
You could use it for music if you want.
All right.
That's a good way of doing it.
So I have the little chart thing. I'll be keeping track of who gets what. Mark,
are we all 80s children?
Yeah, maybe not Chris.
Chris is pretty young.
Yeah. You think I look young?
I think you look young.
That's cool.
So you're 7'4" and 20. It's great.
I was born in 78, so.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you look younger than that for sure.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It's all the human sacrifices.
So that would make you 43?
Yep.
Like you have to think about it.
Yeah, it's like, am I?
Yeah.
I have to think too. It's one of those things you lose track of at this point in life.
I have a few immortal tattoos on me.
Oh, that's what's keeping you young.
Human sacrifices. That kind
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah. Yep.
Makes
Nice.
sense.
That's nice.
You can shave your head. It's
We'll
a
learn
whole
more.
thing.
A tub of blood. I'm good.
That's why he keeps going off screen. He has to go soak for a second. Else he
Yep.
runs out. Yeah.
The back to think.
His feet are in a tub of blood.
Right now. Yes.
Yeah, right now.
Splash, splash, splash.
All right. So, Mark, you're our guest.
Okay.
You go first.
Movies.
Movies it is. What is movies? Blue.
I'm terrible at trivia, so this is gonna be.
Oh, same.
And I panic when I'm being recorded. Again, being a huge comic book fan, I was on a show and they were like, what's Bruce Wayne's mother's name? And I was like, I don't know. I do know. I know it's Martha, and I know Thomas Wayne is his dad. I know that, but when on camera and people ask me questions, I feel the pressure, man. I fall apart.
Let's make it worse and time it.
Oh yeah. Right.
Oh yeah.
What's his butler's name?
Alfred.
What's his last name?
Ooh,
Hold on. It's
Pennyworth.
Pennyworth?
Mhm. Okay, that's not the question though. So
yeah, I was gonna say.
Nope.
Points.
So we got movies. Mark, in what 1985 action-packed movie does Colonel John Matrix fight off mercenaries to save his daughter?
Commando.
Commando is the correct answer.
Well done.
Bam! You know what's funny? I was going to say, as soon as you said 85 action-packed movie, Commando was what pops in my head.
There you go. Perfect. All right, and we'll go around. So, Katia, you're next. Pick a category.
Right. Let's go. Famous people.
Famous people is purple. 19. So technically, just so you know, Mark, now you have your check in movies, so you don't have to do a movies question.
Is there a steal option?
No steals.
All right.
Just don't fuck up. Katia, 1982. That was the year my sister was born. 1982. While trying to fly to the Mojave Desert, how many helium... Oh, this is multiple choice. How many helium-filled weather balloons did a man tie to a lawn chair?
Okay.
1982, number of helium balloons to a lawn chair to fly to the Mojave Desert. Was it 4, 14, or 42?
Okay, it has to be 42. I'm going with 42 regardless because that's the name of our show.
Because of the show?
42. Come on.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
He made headlines when he ended up 16,000 feet in the air and was spotted by pilots near LAX. The correct answer is 42.
Yes.
Is that the guy who he had like a little pea shooter to shoot the balloons to lower himself down slowly?
Probably. That would make
And
sense.
he was
I'd go up there with something. Yeah.
Yeah, and he just shot it. So
that was the answer.
There you go. That was not planned. This was
That's
No,
awesome.
not at all.
going through
Not at all.
Life, universe, and
everything. I mean, technically, 42 would be the
This
answer
is
to all
it.
of these questions. All right, Chris.
movies.
Movies it is. Oh, God. What is the name of Michael Palin's beloved tropical fish in a comedy film that earned Kevin Kline an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor?
Wanda.
What?
Fish called Wanda.
I never actually saw it.
Oh, it's
But
really
I
funny.
remember-
I never liked it. If you were a child in the 80s, you didn't like Fish Called Wanda. That's for adults.
Yeah,
It was
I
very good.
remember my brother talking about it. He was 7 years older than me, so
I'm curious if it holds up. Mark,
Okay.
what do you want?
Let's do famous people. Let's try
Famous
it.
people and events. That's green. Purple. In 1983, a bill established what civil rights activist's birthday as a federal holiday?
This sounds like American trivia.
It is.
Read that to me again.
1983,
Okay.
a bill established what civil rights activist's birthday as a federal holiday?
I have no idea.
Can I try? Just
No,
for fun?
there's no steals.
No.
well,
just for
she
fun.
she can still
just,
try it.
Just let her
Oh,
take it. I'll
and-
pass. Just let her take it.
Okay.
Is it Martin Luther King?
It is Martin Luther King.
That was the only guess I had. But no, it is not a steal. It's just for fun.
There you go. All right, you're up.
Let's do music.
Music it is. Yellow. Who had a hit? Did somebody get it? I'm not watching the comments.
No,
No.
Donnie was just saying there was a song and everything.
No. Who had a hit with Too Shy, Too Too Shy, in 1983? Was it Johnny Hates Jazz, Kaja Gugu, or Glass Tiger?
I haven't heard of it.
This is why I didn't
No,
want to use
either,
it.
like any of them.
I've never heard of any of those.
I'm gonna go with the. Hang on, Kaja Goo, whatever that second one.
Kaja
That's
Gugu?
wrong. Yeah, sure.
Kaja Gugu.
Nice.
Nice.
Goo-goo. That was going to be my random guess too.
Just sounded fun.
Wow.
All right, you got the music.
Sounded like an 80s kind of name.
Sure does.
All right. I will take a multiple choice TV, please.
Multiple, yeah, right? Multiple choice. Nope, not multiple choice. Oh. Is it pink? Yeah. What fantasy-suspense TV series created by Steven Spielberg saw episodes directed by Martin Scorsese, Clint Eastwood, and Robert Zemeckis?
Wow.
I didn't know this one.
Fantasy based. Fantasy what based?
Fantasy suspense
Fantasy suspense.
TV series.
Wow. That almost sounds vaguely familiar, but
Don't even.
I can see the beginning too. Is it something like Amazing Stories or something like that? I can't remember what it's called. Amazing Stories.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Amazing
Stories.
Look at that. Whew.
Well
Pretty good.
done. Look at you.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember the intro had some kind of book flying everywhere or something. It's very easy. Nice.
Oh, Donnie got it.
Very well. Very
Well
well.
Yes, you're allowed to participate. We just
Always.
yeah, I can turn off. I can switch to private chat just so I don't see the answers. But yeah,
Yeah, you can.
Michael
That
can tell
was-
us if you get it right.
I'm not singing it at all, but Dan's got those are the lyrics to that Too Shy by Kaja Gugu. Thanks, Dan, for adding that. And also, it's good to see you in the comments. Hope all is well. All right, so then we go over to Mark.
Hey, let's do TV.
TV. Pink. What HBO show was hosted by the Crypt Keeper? I have a deck of cards. I'm going
What?
off the bottom. I'm not kidding.
Tales from the Crypt.
I'm not kidding. What HBO series
What are the odds of that?
Yeah.
Wow.
in this whole
That's
deck
insane.
after we had already gone through a whole bunch?
What are the odds of that? Telling a story
Wow.
about meeting the Crypt Keeper.
That's
That is
hilarious.
That's awesome.
All right, TV, you got that one. Katya, you're up.
I will take movies, please.
That's ridiculous that just fucking happened.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a
What
gimme.
I swear it wasn't. It's not
I know.
planned.
I know.
What fantasy film features unicorns, a villain named the Lord of Darkness, a princess named Lily, and a hero named Jack?
It's a good one.
Oh, come on.
No idea.
It's not.
A movie
Jeremy,
about
it is not
unicorns?
staged, Jeremy. I promise you.
A movie about unicorns.
What fantasy film features unicorns, a villain named
I've
the
never
Lord of
watched a movie with a bunch of unicorns in it, so I have no idea.
Tim Curry was in it.
Pass.
a villain named the Lord
It
of
doesn't matter
Darkness?
who the villain is. I haven't seen the movie or heard of it. I'm gonna pass.
Chris, you know it.
Yeah, it was legend.
Legend.
Had Tim Curry playing Darkness. You ought to look him up. He was amazing.
That was
with makeup.
that was great. Those horns were epic.
That was
Tom Cruise, real
Tom
young.
Cruise's first one, right?
Mhm. He was a little elf, wasn't
He was a little.
I think he was human.
He was.
Was he
He was a
human?
little something.
He had a little elf friend. I can't
Little
remember
bitch.
that name.
So
That's
you've all seen a movie about unicorns, and I have not. And
Seen
you
quite a few
wonder
movies about
why
unicorns.
I'm the one
Multiple
who
times.
doesn't know the princess names or movies when we
It's-
play.
Not a movie about unicorns. Like that's
There's a
weird.
unicorn in it.
There is a unicorn.
Hey, the last unicorn animated movie about unicorns, that was awesome.
Yep. Jeremy went with that
Yeah,
one.
look, last unicorn.
All right. Well, no.
Oh,
points.
Dan, yeah, absolutely. Come back to Tuesdays. Chris, you're up.
All right. Let's go music.
You have movies and TV. All right, we'll
Yeah.
go music.
I'm just going down the line.
Oh, this is appropriate for what was last week. What Irish rock band won the Grammy for Album of the Year for The Joshua Tree in 1988?
88?
1988.
Ooh, Mark has the answer.
I think I have this one.
Irish rock band. Yep. The Joshua Tree.
Yeah,
Can I steal?
I would have one guess, but I don't think it's right.
I don't know. Sex Pistols. I don't know.
Incorrect, Mark.
You too.
It is U2.
What?
Yeah.
Did you say punk band?
Rock.
No, wrong.
Rock band.
Oh, I don't know why I had it in my head that you said punk.
I don't know
was
why.
like, that's why I was like 88 punk. All right. Okay.
What Irish rock band?
I dislike you too, so I wouldn't have known it anyway.
They were also known as V3.
I
Apparently.
didn't know they were. I didn't know they were like Irish. I knew the Joshua Tree thing because my brother-in-law followed them a lot. So
They're from Dublin.
Yeah, I'm not really a U2 fan, so I wouldn't have gotten it
you go.
anyway. But it was just weird that I was like, what? Punk band in 88?
I mean, they're considered an Irish band because they're from Dublin, but they're not like an Irish.
Right.
They don't sound it.
No, they don't sound it.
If you listen to them talk, you know.
But it's that kind of thing, like if you listen to the Beatles, most of the time they sound like American accent whenever they're singing, and then, yeah, it's just weird.
okay, speaking of Beatles, since I'm next, I'm going to choose music, and the answer is probably going to be Beatles or Paul McCartney. So let's do
I'm
this music.
probably
No,
wait. Hold
no.
on. Let me go through the deck and find the Beatles one.
Got to
Hey.
find a Wings one.
Wings. Oof. Nope. Wow. Okay. Knowledge on Huey Lewis is needed for this one. What does Huey Lewis describe as a curious thing, quote unquote, curious thing, that makes, quote, one man weep and another man sing?
New drug.
Final answer?
I knew the song. Yeah, I was to say that.
Power of Love.
Power
Power of Love. Oh, what's the?
of Love.
The other one is I Want a New Drug.
Yeah. Oh,
There you go. Johnny got it.
so I'm terrible at music.
Yeah,
I loved Huey Lewis though.
Have you
I
ever
love
seen
that
American
one.
Psycho?
Yes.
Did
Christian
you, I love that scene where he talks about Huey Lewis in the news. I mean,
Good
it's a
movie.
pretty dark scene, but his whole conversation about it is funny.
You love that scene, huh?
Yep. Splash, splash, splash.
Splash, splash. Yeah, now it makes sense. I want a
I'm
new
gonna
job.
go-
Want a new job.
There's a lot of us that also think that way. Still. All right, Katya, you're up.
I'm
You
gonna go
have
with-
music and famous people under your belt. So,
I'll take Trends, Tech, and Fun, please.
all right. In 1987, waterbed mattresses accounted for what percentage of all mattresses sold in the U.S.?
Too much.
Too much. 2, 12, or 22% of all mattresses in 1987.
Sorry, say it again. That it's 2 what?
2, 12, or 22.
Yeah. I
Total
think it's
percentage
22.
of
I
all
think it's
mattresses.
22.
22% of all mattresses sold in the U.S. in 1987.
Nice.
22%. Yeah.
Wow.
22%.
I thought that'd be 12. Wow.
Katya's
Well done.
on fire.
I have 3 so far.
3 to 2 to 2.
I'm
Chris,
gonna be
you're up.
stuck on. I'm gonna be stuck on movies for a while.
I'm going to have to go to with music again.
Music it
I'm
is.
stuck on that till I get it.
1986 Bon Jovi. Come on, you know you're a Bon Jovi fan.
Some of them.
What 1986 Bon Jovi album included the hits "Livin' on a Prayer," "You Give Love a Bad Name," and "Wanted, Dead or Alive"?
I don't know album names.
No,
And you're
nobody
not going to
does.
get this one.
Bon Jovi, Bon Jovi.
It's probably their more famous one.
Sure.
Is that your answer, Bon Jovi, Bon Jovi? Slippery When Wet.
Slippery When Wet.
I think I've heard of that.
I've heard the titles, but I couldn't piece it.
Yeah.
I couldn't put it together.
Oh,
All right.
well.
Nice.
I'm going with. I haven't done trends. Let's do trends.
Trends, green.
Dan had Slippery When Wet.
Oh, wow.
Trends.
You might be able to get this one because you do a lot of digital. What Adobe image manipulation software was invented by John and Thomas Knoll in the 80s?
Adobe software in the 80s.
Mhm.
I'm trying to wonder how old is like Photoshop.
It just says in the 80s, not a specific time.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm just going to go with Photoshop.
That's what I would say too. I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
It had
Photoshop.
to be.
Yeah. They were up to version 4 when I was in high school, so like 96. So
Well done.
Excellent.
Well done. All right, Katya, you're up.
I will take TV, please.
TV it is.
I don't think I have that one, right? No.
Wow. Finish this TV coffee commercial jingle.
Ah, that's so lame.
The best part of waking up.
Oh, come on.
It's Folgers in your cup.
before you even said it, I had it in my head.
What are the odds of that? Holy shit.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh my god.
Well
I
done,
thought I was
guys.
going to be stuck on TV forever. Like,
It's a tight race.
it's the worst category in this.
Nope. The worst is music. Let's do it again.
Music it is. Yellow. In the title song of her 1989 album, what nation does Janet Jackson say we're all part of?
Oh,
Human Nation.
Human Nation, final answer?
Yeah, I don't know the answer, so.
Anybody else?
no, but
Oh,
I
Oh no, I can't. It's driving me mental. I'm happy I didn't get this one.
Oh,
Yeah,
did Donnie
that's
get
all
it here?
Oh.
What is it? Rhythm
Rhythm
Nation.
It's Rhythm Nation? Okay.
Rhythm
I am
Nation.
not part of that nation, I guess.
Music, rhythm, come on.
Donnie is
Guess that one.
crushing it.
All right, Mark.
All right, I guess I'll do. What's the last? Tech? Is there tech there?
You got any Metallica questions for me or
Didn't
something?
you got tech, no?
No, green you got. The
No.
trends
Oh, green I
second
got.
one you got.
Oh, it's the one thing. Okay, so Stranger Things.
You want to go Stranger Things?
Yes, to fill in the because music is music the only one I'm missing, right?
Music and famous people you don't have.
Oh yeah, so sure, let's do Stranger Things. Let's find out what happens.
All right, Stranger Things it is. So Stranger Things will be a while to fill in whatever in this version of
Yeah.
our game.
So
What?
let's try that.
Alternate dimension from the Dungeons and Dragon expert rulebook do the boys compare to the Upside Down?
Wow. That is specific.
That is very specific, and I'm never gonna get that. So I'm just gonna pass.
Unless you play Dungeons and
Is it-
Dragons.
Is
I
it the
don't.
Underdark?
It is not the Underdark.
Oh, okay.
What is it?
It is the Veil of Shadows.
Okay.
Nah, I would have never gotten that.
Nope.
All right, Katya for the
Oh, better
win.
not to do that
I think
again.
is it movies?
Movies it is. How well do you know The Shining?
Not great. I
Oh,
saw
There's no unicorns in it.
There's no unicorns.
I've only seen it once. Hit
So
me.
in The Shining,
Yeah.
what does Jack's wife discover? He is creepily typed over and over and over with his typewriter.
Okay, Steel.
It's what I say as I splash.
Yes. No,
Isn't
you
that
probably
what
say
I'm
something
thinking?
different.
No, I'm thinking of something else. For some reason, I'm like stuck with like red rum, but I don't think that's it. I don't know. That's my answer.
That's what's on Chris's wall in front of his computers.
That's all I got.
So Red Run, that's your final?
Red Rum. Yeah. Like the
Danny's-
opposite, like the
Danny's
back.
got it right there for you.
That is
Can I-
incorrect.
I'll
Oh,
work on
yeah.
play Big Jack and Dull Boy. That's correct.
I know it's from something else. I would have never gone that.
Red Rum. All right, Chris.
All right, give me that Metallica question.
I just want to do movie ones.
I know.
Ones.
Movies, I'm really,
Music. In his biggest hit of 1986,
Okay.
what zone does Kenny Loggins sing about taking a highway
Oh my
into?
God, are you serious?
What zone
Loggins?
does Kenny Loggins sing about taking a highway into?
Oh, Danger Zone?
Yes.
Okay. I had to like get into my 80s music.
Highway to the Danger Zone from Top Gun.
Or from Archer, depending on what you watch.
So what's the score?
Top Gun.
What's the score looking like there?
So right now it's 4-4 to 2. Mark, you have 2.
No, I have 3.
Yeah,
You're four.
he was only missing.
How? I only did movies, TV, and music now.
You didn't do the trends?
No,
Oh.
I've been going down the line.
Yeah, no, I
Mark's
marked it off in the wrong thing. So it's 4 to 3 to 3.
I got trends, didn't I?
You got trends, yep. Mark, you have movies, TV, and trends done. So you need music and famous people.
All right. Music.
Music it is. What band had
Duran
its
Duran.
first had its first #1 song, With or Without You, in 1987?
Wait,
I know the song. I don't know who did it.
I know the band.
It's not your question.
Or it
Don't-
could be.
No spoilers. No spoilers. First #1 song, With or Without You.
I know the song, but I don't know the band's name. This is why I'm terrible at this category.
Take a guess.
I can't even think of 80s bands right now. I got nothing.
Can I help?
Not even not a guess.
Just go for the steal.
Is it you two?
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, it's you two.
I
It was like saying
what
answer twice.
Yeah.
This is
man.
It
great.
was like I could hear it, but I couldn't hear it like properly.
Yeah.
Hint, they are.
I got the
Irish
words,
rock.
but I was like, I can't hear the tune.
Yeah.
All right, Katya, movies? Yep.
This is gonna kill me. It's like the 8 ball in pool. I'm gonna be on this forever.
Okay. 1987 hit buddy cop film paired self-destructive Los Angeles detective Riggs with reliable family man Murtaugh.
Oh, it's a lethal weapon.
And I'm getting too old for this shit.
Yes.
The weapon it is. That is pie number 5.
That's one.
So.
Does Chris have? Is Chris at 4? Because he should get the chance to finish his last one.
Chris is at 3.
Oh, okay. So
Oh
he's got
no,
one.
so it's done. It's done.
So that is
Oh,
5
man.
pie slices for you. You technically
Well done.
have won
Congratulations.
a bridge version of Stranger Things 80s Trivia Pursuit.
That's probably a better way of doing it. Is you have to get one of each.
Yeah,
Well,
knew-
that's
I
the
knew-
normal Trivia Pursuit is the way you do it, right?
I
But
knew
the
music was
Stranger
going to be a
Things-
problem for me.
Knowing how hard the Stranger Things questions are, I would never use it as a wild. Anything is better than that.
Well, Chris might know this next one. Honestly, this is the top card I just pulled up.
You
Who
too.
had a Metallica poster in his bedroom? Steve, Billy, or Jonathan?
What?
Which
I don't know
character
what
from
that's
Stranger
from.
Things
It's
had a
Stranger
Metallica?
I would guess Billy.
You would guess correctly. It was Billy.
Oh man,
Makes sense for the character.
you
Sure.
wanted a Metallica question. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was weird.
And those are worth 3 points, right? So
Sure.
So I wanted to mention something about the Tales from the Crypt question that came up, which was hilarious that came up. I had this theory that I'm always telling Brittany about, which is like this breadcrumb theory, right? And I always told her about this thing, like the more coincidences you come across in your life is basically like your fault. You just shows that you're on the right path, and those are the breadcrumbs that lead you there. But they're not necessarily tied in. It's not like my breadcrumbs will lead me to Tales from the Crypt reunion or something. It's just like the more often they happen and the more bizarre like that, like me mentioning Tales from Crypt out of the blue and that becoming my question, being my question.
Yeah.
That stuff, the more often that happens, it just tells you like you're headed in the right direction to keep going.
Yeah.
And it's funny, the first time I ever thought of this, and I told Brittany, I ended up later that day, I was listening to a Stephen King book, and he pretty much said the exact same thing in his book back to me. And I was like, it's like a breadcrumb of the breadcrumb story.
Nice.
It's the same thing.
Meta.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about deja vu. Whenever I have deja vu, or to me, when you're having deja vu, to me, it's you being on the right track. Right? Like there's a track you're on, and if you're having deja vu, that means that's supposed to be happening because you're on that track.
Yeah,
That's just whenever they're changing something in the Matrix.
Sure, yeah.
I think when I get deja vu, that I was like, oh, I reached that age where I'm starting to forget things.
It's probably
like I'm losing it.
Weird. I used to have deja vu a lot when I was younger, but I haven't had it in probably like a decade.
You've severely gone off your path.
I'm not on the right path at all. Boardgames was not where I was supposed to be, apparently.
Yep.
I was supposed to be drawing comic books about massive men.
I started strong.
So beautiful.
There you go.
I started strong with Commando. That was it.
You did.
That out of the gate, and then Tales from the Crypt right away. That was good.
Great.
Yeah, I feel like I'd do much better if I could just stick to movies.
Yep,
Oh,
same.
see, I hate them. I hate that category in this.
Well, you've mentioned before, part of the issue is that if you did watch those movies, you watched them in French. And some of them are named differently, and some of the sayings. Yeah, so I could see that being.
Yeah, like the Lethal Weapon. The reason why I got it is because of How I Met Your Mother.
Nice. That's good.
Wow.
The Murtalist.
Wait. So you never saw Lethal Weapon?
No, I saw them, but
oh, Jesus.
Man, it's been so long, and I can't even tell you what it's called in French either. Like it's been that long.
They're still good films. They still hold up. Like I would watch them now.
There's a lot of older films that hold up.
Yeah.
Like the Transformers animated movie. Still holds up.
Much better than the Transformers live action movies.
Yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I like
Michael Bay.
But the newer, I say newer, but the more recent, the one they did Bumblebee with the girl, that was good.
I like that one better than the other ones.
I don't think I saw it. After the second Transformer movie, I was out.
So it's not connected to the other ones. It's its own one.
Is it still done by Michael Bay? Because I'm out.
I don't know.
Michael Bay is a hard pass for me.
It's connected.
No, I don't think so.
I'm not against Michael Bay necessarily because he did Armageddon, right?
He did which one?
Armageddon, Michael Bay.
That's true. I do like Armageddon.
I like Armageddon.
If it's an IP in Michael Bay, I won't do it because he has messed up IP. So.
Like, didn't he do Ninja Turtles too?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, so I'm with
and
you.
that's why. Although I gotta say, doing a Ninja Turtles movie has got to be a challenge, right? I mean, unless it's animated. In fact, the 3D version where Patrick Stewart did the voice for like the main bad guy or whatever is amazing. That's one of the best Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles things there ever was. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it's great.
I'm not. I remember when Michael Bay was putting out his like live action Turtles, though, that there was rumors that he wanted the Turtles to be aliens, and then all the fans lost their shit. And
lost their shit. Yeah,
because I was like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Yep.
Like I have my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys still.
So do I.
I was like, that was just upsetting. That was just upsetting.
Yeah. How do you take the whole fandom and just be like, yeah, fuck it?
What they ought to do is do a film that's all like black and white and go like old school with it, like the comics were. I still have one of the comics.
And they'd all have like just red because
Just
they weren't
the
color
red.
coded, right? They're all
Yeah,
just
they
red.
have all have the red. Yep.
I have an old comic where they run across an alien actually, but it's like really messed up and weird. It gets really psychedelic and strange.
You know, here's what I'll give. Like for the longest time, you get these big studios and like directors, and they're saying like, all these fanboys. They don't want to play to the fanboys because like, oh, nobody else is going to get it. They want to market to a wider audience. But then you got Disney that came here, and they took the Marvel licenses, and they were just like, here's for the fanboys, and like, there's no bigger proof of that than like No Way Home. It's like this is all for the fans, right? It's just fan service.
Oh,
Oh, she hasn't seen
Sorry.
it yet.
yeah.
Sorry,
No,
I'm not gonna say anything specific, but it's like it's all fan service, like the whole series, and I love it. Like,
Yeah.
give me more of that. So
I
should
did
watch
see
No Way Home.
that
It's
it's
on digital
available to buy on Amazon Prime. So
yeah,
Oh, is it?
now. What? No Way
it
Home?
is.
It's on Disney Plus for free.
it's not on Disney Plus. That's what's weird.
There's
least
no
not-
Disney Plus.
I looked for it and I didn't find it. But
Oh
it,
no, it wouldn't be Disney Plus. Sorry, but I thought it was on. Sorry, not Disney Plus. It would.
it
I
should
thought
be.
I thought it
Disney.
was free. Is it to rent? Oh, it's you have to rent it. I thought it was free.
If it's rentable, I'll rent it. So
I think it's to buy right now, but they might also have it for rent.
Yeah, it wouldn't be on Disney
Okay.
Plus. Sorry, I don't know why
yeah,
I
I
said
would
that.
totally.
It
I'll
should be
also
on
rent
Disney
it.
Plus. It's MCU.
Yeah, but it's owned by Sony.
I don't think it's owned by Sony. I think it's co-owned by Sony. Like
Well,
anything that
Sony owns
Spider-Man
Spidey.
is. Yeah,
Sony owns Spidey, the movie rights for Spidey, and they made a deal with Disney.
right,
to
but
be
they
part of the
I think they're
MCU.
making it together. Like it's a
Yeah, they're making it together, but I still don't think Disney gets first dibs of having it on Disney Plus.
I want a
So,
new
I'm not sure.
Spider-Verse. When are we gonna get?
There's a new one. There's a new one coming out.
Yeah, the second
Right.
one.
When
Yeah.
is it coming out though? Do we know?
Oh, I don't know, but they had a teaser for it a while back. They
Did
had
they?
some.
Ooh, I need
They had
to
some more. I think they showed more Spider-Man 2099 in it. I think the idea is like they're all older. Like there's the teaser is you see Miles Morales in bed, and but he looks older. Like he's
Oh.
still like a teen, but he looks. I just came off of watching like Spider-Verse for like the 5th time, and
It's
then
so
watching
good.
that trailer, and you see him, and he's like his muscles are a little more toned. He looks just a little bigger, but he still like looks young. Like he looks like he's like 18, 19.
Okay.
Yeah,
And apparently the different universes they jump to is going to be a different art style.
that's cool.
So I think that's the concept.
A different art
We,
style.
we lost
Okay.
Katya.
Yeah, she'll
Look-
be back. She was having some issues before we started.
That kind of fits the original. The Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse is one of the best films I've ever seen. The way that they did that, the soundtrack,
It's so good.
the animation, unbelievable. But you had the noir, right? Spider-Man noir. You had the
Mhm.
anime. You had all the different versions of
Spider
that
Pig,
theme. I like that.
Spider-Ham.
Spider Ham.
Mhm.
Spider Pig is the song that Homer Simpson sings.
Yeah.
I love that John Mulaney was the voice for him. And I saw him, the comic John Mulaney was talking about how he did it. He didn't know what he was voicing or what it was even about. And he just started saying stuff. And like the part where he says, "Why are my hands wet?" Like that's just something he threw in there. It wasn't even in the script. So
I need an explanation for that down there. What is the drinking
Yeah,
game for
this-
Spider-Verse?
I want to know what that is too.
Like that's tomorrow's activity. I know what I'm doing tomorrow before game night.
Before
just
game night.
drink and watch
Oh,
it.
sure, yeah. I mean, because why not?
Oh, Brittany said that it's on Amazon Prime. Well, I'll have to check.
It is on
Yeah, but
Amazon
it's for
Prime, but
rent.
I think it's just for buy right now. It could be for rent. I don't know.
I'll
And
check.
it
Like
might
I
be
don't
a
know.
little
I don't know. I thought it was just available.
Yeah,
and
if
of
it's
course-
rent, I'm watching it tomorrow.
Yeah. Of course, it could be different for Canada too. So
She says they lied. It's a trailer.
Oh.
no, I saw it on there. Thought so anyway. Oh,
Yeah, it's good because I remember seeing commercials where they're like, "It's available on digital." Well, I was at GAMA,
Yeah.
so it's available somewhere. I
Hopefully.
definitely want to see it again.
You probably download it.
I've seen it twice because it came out on my birthday, December 17th, and I saw the pre-show. Like they came because they always do it a little earlier. So then the box office weekend now starts on like Wednesday. like the opening box office weekend. So it's like I saw it on the 16th and the 17th.
Nice.
Wow.
It was great.
It's a hell of a birthday.
Yeah, it was good.
Oh.
It was good.
Yeah.
Every time Peter Parker is mentioned, drink. Every time a new Spider-Man is introduced, drink. Every time a new bad guy comes on screen, drink. I mean,
That's not really like a game.
I feel like I would forget all the rules, but
You just keep drinking.
Just
You're
drink.
bound to- just keep drinking. Press play, drink.
and drink. Yeah.
just take a straw and the whole time. There you go.
Every time someone says a word with a vowel, drink.
I have it up right here. You can buy it on Amazon Prime and watch it, but you can't rent it yet.
Boo.
What are they charging? 30?
20.
20.
Ain't bad.
So it'll probably be like $24.99 in Canada.
Yeah,
I'm
probably.
guessing. In our Canad dollars.
So normally on Amazon Prime, whenever it comes out like that, you can wait a few weeks and then it'll be available to rent. But
I mean, I've made it this long. I can wait another couple of weeks.
right,
But have you made it this long with no spoilers?
Kinda, yeah.
How?
that's good.
How?
I just tell people right away. It's like, no, I haven't seen it, and then they're
Like,
respectful.
I feel like if I'm scrolling through Facebook, I'll end up seeing like interviews on Tonight Show or whatever. It's just like somebody's talking about it, and they're like,
I
"Yeah,
don't
when we
watch
did
that,
this,
yeah.
blah blah blah."
I haven't
it's like-
watched it. but
I've seen imagery though, just going through Facebook. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that would have been a spoiler. Just that kind of
Yeah.
thing. So
I don't know. I think it's just because Facebook tailors my feed to be all board game related.
yeah,
That
a lot of
and
mine's like
Star
that too.
Wars. It's like
Well, now that it hears you talking about No Way Home, that's all you're gonna
I know,
get.
I know,
Oh,
because
yeah.
it listens to everything, so now it's gonna show up on my feed. Damn you!
That's just how the card showed up for Tales from the Crypt.
Yep. That's exactly how it happened.
The game was listening.
Yep.
Google did it.
I've had some really questionable stuff show up on my Facebook that I was like, wait,
Yeah, me too.
who's listening? Like seriously, it's kind of scary.
Yeah, it's listening. Definitely listening. That's for sure.
Oh, we've tested it. We've said stuff that was just like hula hoops or something. Like we picked something that we would have never talked about, and then that day later saw ads for it.
Yeah, there's got to be definitely something. I remember talking about the Max Headroom thing that happened in years ago, where somebody they were doing like a semi-pornographic movie live because they spliced into the television signal, and they got like a few seconds of their video out before it got shut down, and they were dressed as they had Max Headroom masks on. And I remember telling this story to somebody, and then it's like later that day, I went to my feed, and it was like, hey, you're talking about that Max Headroom story that happened in like 1986.
That is so
That's
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody.
The other thing we've
Somebody's
had happen is we're in the car, we're talking about skunks, and then all of a sudden it's like, I wonder what skunks eat, because they cross the road all the time, right? So it was like, I wonder what they eat. And then you go on Google and you typed what do, and I kid you not, the autofill was skunk eat. Like, what do skunks eat? And it was like, okay, what?
Come
Like
on.
the phone had been listening.
Are you trying it now?
Yep.
Dude,
It was
what
the
does yours come up
creepiest.
with?
So
I'll type
so
in
what,
what do and see what our question is.
Yep.
so what,
See if it's
what
different.
do skunks eat?
I don't remember. I think we got too freaked out with like, wait,
All right,
what?
I'm
And then the
checking
conversation
mine.
became about Google.
No, mine is nothing. I don't even know. I don't want to click what it says.
What do?
What
My
does
first one
pushing
is-
P mean?
My first one is what do you meme?
Yeah, that's what mine says.
And the
Yeah,
next one is
I-
what do I
That was
want?
mine.
What do I want for Christmas? Is the next one after that.
Mine says
That's why it
what
was
do
so freaky, because it's like clearly the phone somehow was listening. Like there is no other explanation for why that should have shown up in the autofill.
mine says.
None.
Listen to this list. What do possums eat? What do ducks eat? What do turtles eat? I don't care what anything eats, and yet,
Wait, all you did was type in what do?
Yep.
yeah. Well, my first one is what do you meme? And funny enough, my second one is what do contractions feel like?
Yeah,
Pretty sure I
I
didn't
got
talk
what do
about anything
contraction
else.
feel like is my third one. What do contractions
Weird.
feel like? After what do I want for Christmas?
What do angels look like?
I'm curious to see.
What do blind people see? Who's asking this?
Yeah, see, right now for me, it's what does pushing P means?
Yeah, that
but
came up for me, and Dan's saying it came up for him.
You gotta hit spacebar after you hit the O, so you get the do, so it doesn't think it's a does.
Oh, maybe.
Good. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, they eat grubs. That makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Then it's
My
the
face to the meme one.
Yeah.
What do you
but
mean?
what do stink bugs eat?
right? Isn't that crazy?
Because I don't get any of the eat ones. That's all you guys.
Yeah,
Because
you will
it's
now.
out there.
What do crows eat?
Yeah.
You'll know.
What do I want for dinner?
What do I want for Christmas?
All right, I'm clicking that one. What do I want for dinner? Don't allow. Nope, you're not. Mm-mm.
What do you want for dinner?
It was funny earlier on Discord. We were talking about expressions, and the expression to tell somebody to go pound salt. You've heard that, right?
I've heard that.
Yeah, we
I've
use
heard
that
pound
all
salt.
the time. Like you tell, like someone they can go pound salt, and then Donnie and Corey were saying that they use pound sand, and I had never heard that before, but it means the same thing apparently.
I've
What does
never
it
used
mean?
it, but I've heard it.
Yeah, I've never heard that somebody can go pound sand, but apparently, yeah, it means the same thing.
What does it mean?
It means like basically they can go get lost.
In Texas, we say "fuck off."
Yeah, they can go fuck off.
Well, the other expression that
It's
was really
after 10,
funny
right?
was
I
they
guess
can
it
go and take a long walk on a short pier.
For sure.
Yeah, that one I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, fun
Go
fact.
pound salt. I never heard of that one.
Yeah.
I've never used it, but I definitely know it.
Yeah.
Weird.
Pound
And
sand.
then
Oh,
I said,
pound
and then
sand.
I said the expression in French is probably as mean as the one about like taking the long walk on the short pier. It's basically like you would tell the person to go play in traffic.
Yeah.
I've heard "pound the pavement," but that means just
No, that's
to go
different.
work hard.
no,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's not the same.
That's positive.
Well, this whole thing's kind of degraded into random.
It's-
Random poundings.
Yep.
It's fine.
I hate to think what's going to come up in my Google now.
And we
Yeah,
learned that some
seriously.
poundings are good and some poundings are bad.
It's true. It happens.
And then next week we talk about massive men. From
God.
Yes, I'll try to get that scanned in so that we can
Massive men and what they're pounding.
Massive men.
In
Salted
a
favorite.
12-year-old's head.
Oh!
Yep.
What?
Oh my god.
It was
It was
not
a
even a
12-year-old
thing in my head at that age.
Oh
it's
my
gonna be
god.
great.
Where
That's
I grew up,
great.
it just wasn't ever talked about. So,
Ugh.
all right.
Wait for that.
All right.
Well, before we go, anything you want to remind people about? Tell them. In the descriptions, I've got a link to your YouTube channel. Anything else you want to add to those links, or?
No, we got an Instagram channel too. But no, I got nothing like, if anybody who wants to like subscribe and follow Board Game Coffee on YouTube and Instagram would be great. Just really helps the channel because we plan on doing a lot more in the next few months. So the channel's gonna pick up. We're gonna try a lot of new things, and I'm really looking forward to it. So that's it. And then I got the comic book too. So I'll be bringing that up on the channel when I have more to show.
Yeah.
Great.
Let us know when that happens too.
Will do.
All right. Well, I'm going to play the intro on our way out so that Katya can see
Oh yeah.
what we have.
Yeah,
on
Mark.
there.
Mark, thanks for it's great to see you. Thanks for the time. You're good people, and I can't wait to see you soon.
No, you guys are great. It's like, thanks for having me on the show. It was a lot of fun. Thank you. Next time we got to do just movie trivia.
Yeah.
Straight up,
Yes.
like 80s movie or just any movie?
I'm pretty good. let's just try any movies.
Yeah.
I did watch a lot of movies in the 80s, but let's just try anything.
I actually have a movies and TV trivia thing.
We can
I
do
think I'll pull
eras.
from it.
Like each wedge is an era of movies.
That could be fun.
Oh man, that's a good idea. Okay.
I would suck at like 60s and like anything in black and white. I'm out.
Well, you need 6, right?
What do you
So,
mean?
yeah,
Oh, for the wedge. Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter in this case because we're not actually showing wedges or anything. But yeah, sure.
So you'd only have to go back to the 80s.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, good enough.
Works out.
I mean, but you're only doing technically 3 years of the 20s, but you'd be able to get 5 out of the 80s till now.
Good.
Ooh, all right, I'm setting that up.
Cool.
All right,
And you know your board games, Mark, so we could always do a board game trivia, like
It's true.
what letter is from like if we showed you a letter, what game is it from, or a component, what game is it from?
I feel like you showed me everything that I've never played. Because
Yes, definitely.
when I go to conventions and there's like I play a lot of games, but I also don't play a lot of games apparently because like there's so many games I come up to and they're like, yeah, haven't you played this? And everybody's taught. I was like, no, I'm the only one. I'm like out of this conversation. I was like, I haven't played this at all. It's so bizarre because there's so many good games. There's like thousands out there, and it's just you can't play everything.
Well,
Yeah.
on top of that, I imagine you talk to a lot of media people, and when I talk to media people, they talk about all the games that hasn't actually released yet because they're getting previews and stuff. So I'm like, nope, haven't played that.
That's like the expansion for Arnak. Like first time I talked about it, wasn't out, and now it's out. So I didn't know. I missed out because I've been hearing about it for like months. So I had no idea it actually came out.
I think it was at PAX that they came. It was at PAX.
Because I got it for Brett's birthday from
Right.
PAX. Like I don't know if it released at PAX, but they had copies at PAX.
They had copies. Yeah.
Speaking of, and I guess we get ended here. You mentioned conventions. What conventions are you going to this year?
I have absolutely no idea.
Fantastic.
I don't know at all. But like I always like to go to all of them, but I don't know if I'll be going to any. It's with a year with a new baby. I have no idea how it's actually going to work out, and especially like since everybody's all like COVIDed, it's just I got to be a little more careful when you come home with babies and conventions. So it's tough to say.
Yeah.
That con
Next year
starts-
next year for sure will be a bigger year, and let's say next year I'll probably be hitting a lot more comic book conventions as well, just because of probably be promoting or selling my book.
Sure,
Hopefully it'll be done by then.
Cool.
You will.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Great. Well, anybody watching, join us in Discord afterwards. Links in the description, and we'd like to have you, Mark, if you have time or not. But
Mark's gonna go to sleep.
okay,
I'm tired.
no problem.
It was
Thanks
a
for
lot of
sticking
fun.
around with us.
Good. Yeah,
And
it was fun. Thanks for hanging out.
Here's the intro.
Aww.
There you go. I actually recreated that for you.
There. Here's my castle panic.
I actually recreated that for you. It's done in little dots.
So how do you guys determine what those are?
Going in the little, I just change them whenever I think about it.
Is
Put
it
in
based on like what happened in the previous episode?
Not exactly the previous one, but some things that just come up often. I'll do it. Like he's always drinking from these tiki mugs, and like he's got the Jar Jar one. I think he had the Tauntaun one a while back. And so I like to just throw them in there. My game Troubles came out, so I threw a Trouble up there for my thing and stuff. So
If you go to our YouTube channel and you watch the intro video that Chris put, like gives you a little synopsis of what we do on the show. The end of it is one of like I lost it. I couldn't keep it together. I was beat red, tears. We were playing Monstrosity, and the way Chris was describing the monster was like this raptor with one leg up in the air.
No,
So
it was not the way I was describing the
it's
monster.
the way it was described. So I drew a raptor with one leg up in the air and one leg was down. I'm like, all right, well, it's like it's kicking or dance, like the monster from like Spaceballs going across the bar, right? So I had the one leg up, and then there's like 10 seconds left, and he's like, and it has a bulbous tail between its legs, and I'm like, I got one leg up, one leg down. The tail's coming out this way. It did not look like a tail at all. And the first time he did it, he put that raptor in there. It's hysterical.
So a bunch of little inside jokes in those clouds, basically.
So funny.
All right. Well, thanks again, and thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. See you next week.